Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi Odds here. It's Saturday morning, and we are doing double reaction to two games yesterday. Team Canada defeating France in a friendly game in the afternoon, and then Raptors Summer League. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was rough. That was very, very rough. The real ones stayed through for the whole game because, in some ways, I don't blame people that watched the first quarter and said, "I can't do this. I cannot do this." And just said, "No, I'm turning this off." It's Friday night. It's a 10 p.m. It's a summer. I want to do better things with my life than watch the Raptors get shellacked by the Miami Heat Summer League team in a really, really humbling way, as I put it in the title. It's humbling. Coach Jama saying after the game that he blames not being prepared on what happened yesterday, as far as only scoring 7 points in the first quarter and having more turnovers in the first quarter than points. Yeah, that's bad. It's so bad. So bad. And meanwhile, Miami couldn't do no wrong. And they were flirting with beating us by the biggest margin in Summer League history. Oh, that was bad. Really, really, really bad. So, but we'll do the reacting to both the good and the bad of yesterday for sure. Let's see. Super fan Monique is in the house first. What's up, Mo? Good to see you in the morning. The greatest, the super fan, Monique Lawrence. Good morning, Raptor Freak family. No one deserves 3 stars of the game except for Jacoby. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. Now, the difference between a couple of the games recently in Summer League for the Raptors is they got a few guys in double digits last night. It wasn't just like a one-man show, but Jacoby was the leading scorer for them last night. I was very happy about this. Now, I do have somebody else for my first star of the game, and Jacoby is my second star. So we'll go ahead and do it right now since you brought it up, Mo. I want to preference this. I think Jacoby Walter was probably maybe the best player for the Raptors last night, but it was after the pressure was off. In some ways, the beginning of the game, as Jama said, the players were not prepared for the smack in the face by the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat were hungry. The Miami Heat were looking for that championship round, the semifinal, and the Raptors did not show up with the energy and the intensity that they needed. In particular, a couple of the starters that started for the Raptors last night were just not prepared. Brandon Carlson, very much so. He absolutely got dominated by Kel Ware right from the start of the game. In fact, he looked so bad at the beginning of the game. I was reminded why he wasn't drafted. And Jacoby, I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to start off with a bad thing for Jacoby Walter. He came out casual. He did not come correct to this game. And that's why, in some ways, I don't want to give him the number 1 star of the game, is because it took the game becoming a blowout and no pressure. No pressure. All the pressure is relieved when the game is so out of hand and so crazy that it's a little bit easier to start finding things. In fact, maybe this is exactly what Jacoby needed was, here's a little bit of a lessening. So now you can understand the game and, well, now try and thrive at this when there's no pressure. So I will say that. In some ways, I wanted Jacoby to start out like he did later, but he didn't. He was really bad in the first quarter. In fact, him and Brendan had to come out of the game very early because of how ill-prepared they were for this game. Even Shed was not prepared for the game in the way he should have been. Oshai, I could talk about Oshai being a 2-year pro already and coming in and playing with this game, but in some ways, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. In some ways, he stayed out there. He understood, but he's one man. And what can he do? And in some ways, Abaji's game from college is just not translating to the NBA. And it is what it is. He's still a valuable player for the things that he does. And as I've said this week, he's a defensive end player. And what he does and does over there is, well, good enough for me. So, yeah, that starting lineup got shook. And they did not come prepared. And that is the lesson for them last night, as Jama Mahalea said. Is that these guys have to understand that you have to come with a certain energy and force when you come to the game. And if you don't show up with it, well, this is what happens. That's basically what Jama said after the game right there. So my number 1 star of the game last night was the other starter I did mention just now, Jamison Battle. Now, Battle, has had 3 out of the 4 Summer League games. Beautiful. He was a dud the day after he signed his Exhibit 10 contract to the Raptors, and he didn't make a single shot in the game against Utah, but he bounced back last night, and I'm very proud of him. Jamison Battle, 3 of 5 from the field, including 3 of 4 from 3. So he found the three-point shot. We were not shooting the 3 very well. We weren't shooting very well at all. There weren't anything hardly going very well for the Raptors last night. But Battle did get 3 of 4 by the end of the game. That's a great percentage. 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 9 points, a -10, which in this game isn't that bad, honestly. Only being a -10 isn't that bad in this game, looking at all the other plus minuses for everybody. So my number 1 star is Jamison Battle for last night, for bouncing back from a poor shooting performance against Utah Jazz and being efficient, being 3 for 5 from the field. So he did look a little off, too, at the beginning of the game. I'll have to admit it. The whole 5 of the starters were shook, but he's played steady through it. Jacoby is my second star, though. We finally saw Jacoby kind of wake up offensively. But as I said, it was after the pressure was off. It was after the game was already out of hand. And in some ways, he could operate. And, he started showing some of that stuff. In fact, I really liked the threes in the second half. The way that he shot those threes with confidence, the stroke, the swish through the net was very promising. I have to say that. Jacoby Walter, 5 of 11 from the field overall, 3 of 7 from 3, 3 of 3 at the free throw line. I love that this young man takes his free throws very, very seriously. I really do. 1 rebound, 1 block, 2 turnovers, a -28. Oh, ugly. With 16 points. Leading scorer for the Raptors last night, Jacoby Walter, our first-round pick, number 19. I thought that Jacoby had a growing thing that happened last night. He growed real good just now because he learned a little bit more. After the game, Jacoby in the press conference saying that he's learning the pace of the NBA game, and that in some ways this is so new to him. He's got to understand how the speed is and how he can get in there and do it. And there were signs that he was really trying to figure it out last night. Some really good attacks to the rim that actually were successful. And also those threes bombing late. So I'm very happy with the second half of Jacoby Walter. I am not happy with the first half of Jacoby Walter last night. And this is one thing I will say also about the Raptors last night against the Miami Heat. We may have got blown the hell out in the first half of the game, but we actually outscored them in the second half last night by 1. So as Jama said after the game, I felt good about how the team kept up with Miami in the second half, because they did technically outscore Miami Heat by 1 point in the last 2 quarters. So there's at least that. They shit the bed right out the beginning of the game. Can't score but like 30 points in the first half. Well, what the hell are they going to do? Seriously, what the hell are they going to do? My third and final star for the game last night was DJ Carton. And it really is because Carton is a steady kind of person in a chaotic game. 3 of 5 from the field for DJ Carton, 1 of 2 from 3. He was 1 of 2 at the free throw line, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. He did have 3 turnovers. He was a -23 with 8 points. But I like what DJ was doing out there. He was kind of the person that was setting the tone for aggression, even when the game was out of hand. He did not let his intensity down. And we also saw the flashes of a healthy DJ Carton when he's feeling real good, the way he elevated and went down the lane. It was actually really impressive to see him throw that dunk down. And I will say this, that dude has hops like Russell Westbrook or like Allen Iverson back in the day. He is not a big guy. And that's one of the things he said recently in an interview that made my eyes open up wider. Is that DJ said, I haven't been fully healthy, and you guys have not seen me at my full athleticism. I'm like, oh, really? Do tell. And, well, that's what he did. He came out down that lane, and he threw it down like a little man would, like Russell Westbrook would do. So there's a little bit of what Russell Westbrook kind of athleticism for a 6'3" guy in DJ Carton out of Marquette. Of course, all the announcers like him. They're like, DJ Carton, Marquette superstar. You know, a lot of them. We had a really bad announce crew for the Summer League game last night. Corey Alexander. Basically, Corey Joseph from Wish. Yeah, that's who he is. Seriously, Corey Alexander is the worst Corey between the Coreys. and he's calling that game, and he's Spurs Nation, which I respect. He played with the great Tim Duncan, the great David Robinson, won championship on that team. He loves the Spurs, and he really loves the Miami Heat too. And boy, it's unabashedly unashamed brown nosing of the Miami Heat franchise by the announce crew last night. I don't know how many times they said in the game last night that Kel'el Ware went to the right team. He went to the right team for Miami because he's going to be the right place. He's going to get. They said that at least 4 or 5 times. Broken records. And listen, I don't blame Raptors fans if they turned it off and went away. But yeah, you would have heard a broken record from Corey Alexander, his little buddy, talking about how they want to see Prince and Usher in the Sphere. Corey Alexander bugs the shit out of me. And I'm going to say, his buddy who was calling the game with him cracked on him. He was exactly right. He's like, oh, you were in the league for a hot cup of coffee. And Corey Alexander got all butthurt. He said, 6 years, a hot cup of coffee. Brother, you didn't do jack shit in your NBA career. I'm serious when I say you're the Wish version of Corey Joseph. Seriously, this guy was a backup guard at the best at times, but he honestly was a third guard most of the time of his career. Corey Alexander. Sorry, I just had to go off on him real quick, just a little bit. So those are my 3 stars of the game last night. Jamison Battle, Jacoby Walter, and DJ Carton. Yeah, we could talk more about the other guys, but yeah, Mo, good to see you this morning. Yeah, Mo's saying worst deficit in Summer League game. Wow. Is that the worst the Raptors ever lost at Summer League? That could be true. The worst loss in Summer League history was talked about on the broadcast. It was the Miami Heat putting it to the Lakers and beating them by 50. This was one thing I was saying near the end of the game. I was like, don't make history, Raptors. No. You don't lose more than 50. And they did not. They got that score down to, it was 109-73. It's still 36. 36 is way better than 52. So thank you, Raptors, for shrinking that lead. These guys were predicting this. They're like, the Raptors going to make history tonight, making the worst defeat in Summer League history. We don't want that. No, we don't. And we didn't get it. Thank God. As Jacoby Walter figured some things out, and DJ Carton kept that energy up. That's right. Some of the guys did wake up later and did look good. I mean, I have some honorable mentions for players that happened in the game. We'll see if you guys mention them as we go. Let's see. Most saying breakout Summer League impressions, though. Brendan, Jamal, Ulrich has the tools. Jacoby, room for improvement. Grady getting there. JFL needs to stop ball hogging, but he was good. All right, let me go over a couple of these names you put in here. Now, Brendan Carlson, as I said already, was absolutely shook at the beginning of this game. Kel'el Ware destroyed him, and he basically looked really bad also for another reason. Brendan Carlson has really bad hands. This is the problem. These guys are setting him up with silver platter passes, and he can't catch the damn ball. There were a couple turnovers at the beginning of the game that were just simply and purely Brendan Carlson not prepared to catch the ball. And that was horrible. They were actually really good plays that if he had gotten connected to, the Raptors might have got off on the right foot. So Carlson, in some ways, when Jama's saying y'all didn't show up to the game prepared correctly, he's talking to you. He's talking to you. You did not realize that the son of Jor-El from the planet Krypton was coming down. Oh, Kel'el Ware. And he was going to be doing some stuff. Yeah, you did figure it out a little bit later. In the second half, he did hit some threes, and he did block Kel'el at one point. And he did start playing a little bit better defense. But right off the bat, from the jump ball at the beginning, dog, you were bad. You were really bad. And it wasn't just not being able to contain Ware. It was also those missed passes that absolutely you should have caught. Man, that's so frustrating. You got to have the trust of Jamal Shed, Brendan Carlson. And if you're going to be it went off the back of my hand. What are you doing? Wake up. Be prepared. It's game time. Get out there and be ready to catch that ball and score. That's what I would say to Brendan Carlson about it. I mean, here's his stat line real quick. 3 for 7, 1 for 3 from 3, 5 of 5 at the free throw line. I like that. 2 rebounds, 2 blocks, 1 turnover, a -11 with 12 points. In fact, Carlson was so bad that Jama went with Ulrich Kalmshay instead of him for big chunks of the game. And he didn't start the second half. Brendan was on the bench when they started the third quarter, and Shamshay was out there playing instead. So, yeah, that's tough. That's a tough lesson for the big man from Utah coming into our team, the 25-year-old. That's a tough lesson right there, Brandon Carlson. So get your hands right and get up for the game. Slap yourself in the face in the mirror if you got to do it, Brendan, because you're playing against Keller Ware. You better be ready. Yeah. We'll talk about Jamal Shed real quick. This is how legends are made. Let's do something like a Chris Kaman to poor old, whatchamacallit, Cole Swider. Cole Swider. What an annoying guy. Really annoying guy. I was like, why is Cole so mad at Jamal? What did he do? I didn't see the camera angle. Well, he did something all right. What was that Reggie Evans move when he punched Chris Kaman in the nuts? This was close. This was really, really close. Now, I want to say this around this. Some people may say this is a problem. I don't think so. I think that what Jamal Shed did shows he's dedicated to try and win at all costs. This is Kyle Lowry kind of shit. Yeah, you're going to shoot a three over me? Well, you're getting a double punch to the nuts. Yeah, bam! I'm sorry, but it was so comedic. And the way Cole Schwider was so upset about the man touching his genitals was hilarious in itself, enough for it. Now, it was interesting that young ref crew went to the table trying to figure out what to do with that play. And it's funny is like it's two young ladies and a male ref last night for the Raptors Summer League game. And it was kind of weird, like how they had to call it, you know? Yeah, he did grab his nuts. He basically really did grab his nuts. Now, not many Raptors broadcasters are going to say it like I say today, but that's what he did. He damn for sure did grab his nuts. And that was a dirty-ass play. Oh, yeah, it was. But in some ways, it just goes right along with everything I'm learning about Shed. As far as he's a winner, he's going to try and go all out to win. He's going to take charges. He's going to grab people's nuts. And hey, I can't hate on that. I think that he was shocked he got thrown out. Yeah, I think he was shocked. They called a flagrant 2, which is an immediate ejection for a hostile act that was totally unnecessary. And it probably was totally unnecessary. But in some ways, Shed, he showed me something last night as far as what he's willing to do. He's willing to put his hands on another man's junk to try and help us win. So I can't hate on that. I mean, seriously, I can't hate on that. I think it's actually pretty amazing. In some ways, this is how Raptors legends begin. I'm telling you right now. Then we may be saying like 5 years into Jamal Shed's amazing Raptors career. You remember when he first started? He punched that guy in the nuts. Yes. In some ways, we're talking about a good game, the Canada game against France, and the bad game, the Summer League game. Well, the ugly. Jamal Shed punching somebody in the nuts. That's right. Some people would say there's no place for that in the NBA. Well, in some ways, the NBA is a very strange place with a lot of strange things happening, and I have no problem with it. I'm sorry. Jamal was 0 for 4. He was really bad, and he didn't show up prepared either. 0 points, minus 26 before he got ejected with just 2 rebounds and 2 assists. Yeah, it's too bad. But listen, it's all learning curve and stuff like that. And well, he's learning the game, and we're learning what he's willing to do to help us win. You go, Jamal Shed. It was so funny. When he found out he was thrown out, he was like, what? Really? Oh, man, it was very, very interesting. Yeah, Cole Schwider was annoying. He was very annoying last night. Now, Ulrich. Let's talk about Comshay. Comshay is showing me more and more little things. You know, he's starting to remind me of Grady last year. When we'd watch Grady, we'd always be pleasantly surprised with some new wrinkle to something he's bringing to the game. Like all of a sudden, Grady does some sort of crazy drive or he gets some crazy steal. Well, Shamshay's showing those kind of little gems that are like, oh, open your eyes to see. And last night, it was a passing ability again. He really could thread the needle in some ways. This kid doesn't know how to play basketball. He's already throwing some really high-level passes. And then, of course, his work and his energy and his getting around all over the place is fantastic. Let's go look at his box score real quick. Shamshay played 20 minutes. That's probably the most he's played so far. He did have 6 fouls. So the fouls are still a problem. He did have 5 turnovers. This is part of the reason why I can't give him a star. He was a minus 15 with 4 points. It's not really about the scoring. It's about the fighting with Ware. First of all, that's one of the things. He got out there and went toe-to-toe to Kella Ware. And honestly, he looked way better against Ware than Carlson for most of the game. And in some ways, that is a testament. Nobody's been able to handle Kel'el Ware this whole summer league. And I think Shamshay actually did an admirable job as far as being a physical equal with him and trying to muscle around and fight for rebounds with him. In fact, he got in Ware's face a couple times and kind of got, made it hard for Ware to operate. So I have to give him credit for that. He had 4 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block. Yeah, Shamshay is very interesting. Very, very interesting. His passion's there. The tools are there. And in some ways, you see the signs of a Giannis in him. You really, really do. Yeah, he's so raw, though. But I like the way he was not standing down to Kel'el Ware. We've got to remember, Shamshay is so green. He does not understand the sport of basketball completely. So in some ways, he's naturally getting some of the things that he's doing on the court done. So yeah, good stuff, Ulrich. Very, very proud of how you handled the matchup with Kel'el Ware. At times, yeah, you guys got beat. At times, you were too far under the basket, and Kel'el's doing something. But a lot of times, you were a real problem for him. And maybe the announcer's talking about, well, Kel'el Ware may end up being the best player in this draft. The Miami Heat got to steal. Yeah, keep brown nosing, Corey Alexander. Yeah, keep brown nosing. But I think that y'all missed something by not mentioning the name of Comshay but once last night. So, in fact, I thought they were doing some sort of blacklisting on the Cameroonian player, 18 years old. Didn't want to mention him or talk about him or his story, even though he was extremely interesting and he was in the game doing things. It's just that they want to put such a spotlight on Kel'el Ware, they ignore Ulrich Comshay. And I get it. In some ways, yeah, it's easy to ignore him. But I'm going to tell you this right now, Corey Alexander. The way y'all talked about Kel'el Ware and looking back at this game and saying, oh, we're going to remember when we saw him in Summer League and what he becomes over the years, you better fucking remember Comshay. Because you're going to have to remember what he was in this game. And that's going to be something that y'all overlooked and didn't do as a broadcaster. You did not point out the amazing green flags that have to do with Comshay, his body, his age, and what he is on the trajectory for. You go ahead and talk up Kel'el Ware. It's real easy to talk about Indiana's Kel'el Ware with the way he's tearing up the Summer League. But if you really spot talent, you really understand NBA bodies and what's possible, you should have been talking about Ulrich Comshay. In fact, you did not mention his name on the air until the 4th quarter when he got a jam. That was it. You never, ever mentioned him. In fact, I thought y'all were avoiding mentioning him. He was in the middle big plays, and it was almost like you didn't even know his name. It was almost like, I don't even know who that guy is, so I won't even say who he is. That's what it felt like for a while during the game. It was like, why don't you say his name? Say his name. It's Comshay. Say his name, Corey Alexander. Yeah. It's very, very interesting game for for Ulrich. Very, very interesting. Jacoby went over him already. Grady not playing, sitting at the end of the bench with Jonathan Mobo. In some ways, a friend was saying that she's kind of upset with Jacoby for not mentoring the other players on the team. I mean, not Jacoby, Grady, for not mentoring the other players on the team while he's hurt, sitting all the way at the end of the bench, not talking to people. Well, I would say this. Grady's the 3rd youngest player on this team. The only 2 people that are younger than him are Ulrich and Jacoby. The rest of the guys are all older than him. Some of them, like Carlson's 25. Grady's 20. Some ways he probably doesn't feel like he has the experience or knowledge. He's too much of a student himself still to be a teacher to other guys. In some ways, he could come off as like an idiot trying to tell Jamal Shed how to play basketball. So people got to remember that about Grady. He's so young. And even though he has a lot of NBA experience already with 1 year down, he maybe doesn't have any business telling people what to do or trying to instruct them, mainly because he is one of the students himself. He's grasshopper, and he is not ready to be the master. So in some ways, let Grady have a break. And also in some ways, listen, Grady is not that kind of personality, I don't think either. Maybe when he gets older and wiser and he's a vet, yeah, maybe he can be more of a vet. But when he's young and he's learning so early, in some ways, he doesn't want to come off as conceited, is what I would say. In some ways, he doesn't want to come off as conceited. So JFL needs to stop ball hogging, but he was good. JFL in a small dose last night. In fact, we could have saw way more JFL last night, but we didn't. He wasn't in for a whole lot. Let's go look at his box score. He wasn't horrible. You're right. 2 of 10. Well, that's not that great. Only 14 minutes for JFL. 1 for 4 from 3, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 block, 2 turnovers, a -10 with 5 points. So he didn't really fill it up, but he didn't get to play a whole lot. And you know why? It's because we know what he is. Summer League is for discovery. Summer League is for finding out the unknown about the young guys you bring, like Joe Girard III and Tyler Perry. And in some ways, JFL, we know what you do. We've seen it extensively in the 905. And even in the Summer League, we saw it's the same. So I get it why JFL didn't play a whole lot last night. It's because we know what we're going to get from him. And there's no discovery that needs to be found with him. In some ways, he can come in and steady things. If we really want to win, yeah, maybe we play him more. But in some ways, whether it's a blowout and it's already waving a white flag, well, JFL don't need to come in because we don't need to see him. We understand who he is right there. Yeah. Monique saying, let's build off of yesterday's win, Canada. Yes. Go Canada and beat Puerto Rico tomorrow. That's right. Noontime start for a watch along tomorrow on this channel. I'll be live call by call watching Puerto Rico versus Canada, the last friendly before the Olympics start for Team Canada men's senior basketball. Yeah, we'll have the call tomorrow at noon, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a Raptors game tomorrow also, guys. Don't know who the opponent or what time it's going to be at, but if you guys find out while we're on the stream, go ahead and let me know. I'd love to react to it and see who we're going to play, but we're obviously not in the semifinal championship round of the Summer League for the Raptors. All the teams that are undefeated are going there, and I believe it's like San Antonio, the Clippers, or Memphis, Miami, and maybe Golden State were the 4 teams that got to the final round. So, yeah, good job by Canada. And I'm going to do my stars of the game for that one also as we talk about it here. Nako saying humbling is a word for that. And for that, that's sure, yeah. Yeah, humbling is important in the NBA. In some ways, you got to understand, if you're young and you're coming in, there's people above you that know what they're doing. They've been there longer. And that guy yesterday was Josh Christopher. Right from the start, Josh Christopher, NBA veteran, maybe a little notorious for his domestic violence charges. Oh, wait, no, he wasn't the domestic violence charge. That Kevin Porter. Josh Christopher is the one who was getting all funky and crazy with Jalen Green as far as like the Humpty dance. That's right. They were doing some weird stuff. And Josh Christopher got exiled from Houston because he was kind of a knucklehead and he was part of the knuckleheaded Rockets team from a couple years ago. And then he went to the Clippers, I think, last year, was hanging around there or something. But now he's on Miami, and he has a lot of experience. So Josh Christopher was kind of the man in the game yesterday. He really got them off on the right foot right from the beginning. The combination of Josh Christopher and Kelly Ware and then Cole Schwider with the threes really started to mess us up. I'll go and look at the Heat side of the score real quick. Just to talk about it a little bit. Yeah, Kelly Ware, 17 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 steals, and a block, plus 32, shooting 5 for 10, is 7 of 8 at the free throw line. Yeah, very, very good game. The kid is good. In some ways, yeah, we were right when we were talking about him before, but then we doubted him about this. But once again, Raptors fans, we can't have remorse about Kelly Ware. He was never, ever available to us to select. He was off the board before 19, and Kelly Ware went to the Miami Heat. And as those guys said, it's the perfect fit for him. Pele Larson, rookie coming in for 12 points, 2 of 2 at the free-point line. He looked pretty good. The draft pick that got traded to them, he was very interesting. Schwider, 4 for 8 from 3. You know, their three-pointers did kind of mess us up. Alondas Williams off the bench, 11 points. Not a bad contributions by a few of the Miami Heat players last night, for sure. Not bad contributions from them. At all. Cowboys here. Good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Dap to you, Cowboy. And let's do a ta-da advertisement real quick. 647-833-6844. Franchises are available. If you need help around your house with handyman help or even like cleaning your ducks, don't listen to those duck cleaning people. They're scam. But Cowboy is not. You can call ta-da. 647-833-6844. He will do your duck cleaning. And not those people that call you at random times of the day. No, not them. Amit's here. Good to see Amit Gaming, the Season 3 trivia champion of Raptor Freak Trivia, Amit Gaming. Good morning, y'all. I can't stay, but I just wanted to say what's up. Going to my second CBL game today with my grandfather. I got to go, but I hope all of y'all had a great Saturday. That's fantastic. Look at Amit. While he's in Canada, he's getting to CEBL games. Fantastic stuff. This young man is a true basketball passion. And I love this so much. Not only is he a student of the game, studying the history of the NBA, he's also going and supporting Canadian Elite Basketball League. You go, Amit Gaming. What a champion in life. And I hope you and your grandfather have a fantastic time at the game. Seriously. Mason's here. Good to see Mason Culligan, Raptor Freak. Mason Culligan. Hey, Lex, rough loss for the boys. Yeah, it was tough. Let's go pick it apart some more. Let's go look at the team stats. How about that, Mason? We'll look at the team stats for last night for the Raptors. Of course, the anemic 7 points in the first quarter is absolutely dreadful. The score at the end of the first quarter was 32-7. My God, that is dreadfully bad. And they didn't do much better picking it up in the second quarter. Only 17 points in that quarter. So you do the math. What is that, 24 points in the first half? You scored 24 points, the amount that you're supposed to score in a quarter in a full entire half. Yikes. Yikes. They shot very badly again. The Raptors Summer League team has not been shooting well the last couple games. 31% from the field. Really, really bad. Some of them were good open shots that they should have made. Some of it was tough stuff, too. 3-pointers, 11 for 39, only 28% from there. Meanwhile, Miami's shooting 52% from three and 51% from the field overall. They shot 81% from the free throw line. We shot 73% from the free throw line. They did get to the line more than us. They out-rebounded us by 9. And that was something that was a problem for sure. Assists, 26 assists for the Miami Heat. We got an anemic 12 assists. So that they were not connecting. And like I said, Carlson really kind of messed that up at the beginning, not catching some really easy passes that should have been converted into baskets. Nothing went right for the Raptors from the start of the game. Nothing went right. The blocks, 6-5. Turnovers, we had 18 turnovers by the end of the game. And I will say this. A lot of those turnovers were in the first half, and they cleaned it up in the second half. And that's part of how they were able to outscore the Miami Heat in the second half by 1 point. So 18 turnovers, well, most of them came in the first half. And that crazy-ass first quarter were horrible. I think they got like 9 of the 18 turnovers in the first quarter. So pretty bad, Mason. Very, very bad. James is saying, I didn't watch the game. How's Jacoby's defense? You know, he's interesting as a defensive player. He still doesn't totally understand what he can and can't do without fouling. He's doing a lot of very interesting things from behind people. The wingspan of Jacoby Walter is very exceptional for a man his height. That's the thing. So he's doing a lot of stuff reaching from behind. In some ways, he's good at poking the ball loose on dribblers. And he even gets the ball freed in all kinds of interesting ways. Some of the stuff will be a deflection. He doesn't recover the ball, but a teammate gets to it and does. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff going on, James, with Jacoby Walter. He did get a block last night. We will say that. And in college, he was known for blocking shots at a guard. So and this is the thing. All these announcers, they recognize that Jacoby Walter is a good defensive player, and they've been saying that in the Summer League games. These jabroni announcers that we've had for the Summer League games, they're at least recognizing Jacoby Walter is a great defensive guard. They've said that a few times. So be ready for that, James. He's so young and raw, and he needs to fill out his body to be more NBA strength. But Jacoby Walter is going to be a good defender. Watch. He will be. Yeah, Mason saying, I knew Trent was heading to the Bucks. Yeah, I mean, that made sense. He's friends with Dame Lillard. He really does value being around Dame Lillard, and he does kind of want to showcase his talent, and that had a good spot that he could take. He may not have a whole lot of competition to get in the starting lineup, and it's a premier team where he'll get attention, and it's also a short contract so that if it, he could obviously re-sign with the Bucks again next summer if they want to pay him and they feel like he's worth it, but if not, he can go anywhere else and hopefully get more than $3 million a year, like what he's getting paid this year. So, yeah, G saying we were all where was all business. Didn't even smile when they were up big. The scouts with their casual analysis may have gotten it wrong. Maybe it's just serious. Gee, I won't make that judgment yet. This is not the time to say whether Kel'el Ware has got the issues, what we thought he might have. We can't detect this now. You've got to think about DeAndre Ayton. When did we find out when DeAndre Ayton was that guy? When they were in the playoffs and Monty Williams is yelling at him on the sideline. So, gee, it's way too early. This is Summer League. In some ways, Kel'el Ware is having an easy time. Let's see how it is for him when it's hard. So I wouldn't make these predictions yet. In some ways, the allegations about Kel'el Ware have to do with when things are hard, or when he's kind of not having such a good time. So when that happens, let's see how his attitude is then, G. So yeah, don't make this like too rash a judgment too early. Let's see how his career goes over the years. And let's see if the Heat get to a certain level and maybe that does still happen, an Ayton kind of thing. So yeah, although he's in Miami, this is the thing. That is part of why they were saying what they're saying last night. If there's Eric Spoelstra is going to keep him like really on key things, and he may not have a choice to not be dedicated and be this way. So it could be, as they were saying, this is the perfect team for him, because if he does have some sort of like passion problem, well, Eric Spoelstra will make sure he doesn't. And that's kind of it right there. Ahmet's saying the CBL game is at 7, but I got to help my grandfather in his garden. That's awesome. Get outside and touch grass, young man. That is awesome. And cherish and enjoy the time with your grandfather and doing stuff. That's so awesome, Ahmed. Fiercely saying, good morning, fam, and happy Saturday. I'm not overreacting. It's part of the process. We must be patient and let them build synergy and personal skills, i.e. three-pointers were really bad. Yeah, Fiercely smart. With some casual Raptor fans who may be like, oh, they lost. We're going to suck so bad this year. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Nah, let's not chicken little this. Let's keep it exactly what it is. It's Summer League. And the smart fans on Twitter are saying, yeah, this game doesn't count. Who cares? This is a learning game. In some ways, some of our better players are not been playing, like Grady Dick and even Mobo. I've wondered about Jonathan Mobo playing in the last 2 games and just how much an X factor his all-around play could have been in different ways to help us in the last 2 games. He definitely shore up rebounding. He'd definitely be a very active long-arm person on defense. And who knows? He's also got a kind of a synergy of connecting people because of his passing and kind of being a hub. So you got to wonder, obviously Grady Dick with his knowledge and playing and how well he can be, he would have been a huge help against Utah in Miami. But who knows how much Mobo actually could have added up to helping us possibly compete better, because that's something I'm wondering about. But yeah, it's the process. They're young as hell. And if there's lessons, well, on Wednesday was the lesson about a team that switches 1 through 5. And the lesson yesterday was come to the game ready and prepared. And hell, I'd much rather have Carlson and Shed and Jacoby learn about preparation for the game in a game against Miami Heat in Summer League than a game against Miami Heat in the regular season. So get these lessons out of the way now. Well, they don't count for nothing. Yeah, Cowboys saying, so is that our last Summer League game, Lex? No. They will give us a game to be determined for Saturday. Sunday. Today's Saturday. Tomorrow. They're going to play another game tomorrow. I hope it's not at the same time at noon as the Team Canada-Puerto Rico game. If we could have it maybe around 3, maybe around 5, that'd be great, NBA Summer League. Then we could have a doubleheader again tomorrow. Team Canada at noon, and then after that, Raptors in Vegas. Yeah, baby, with their last game. So there will be another game tomorrow. I'll do a watch along, and when we know what the game is for tomorrow, we'll do a preview for that game and whichever team we're playing. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Fiercely saying ESPN broadcast is horrible, glazing the Heat like no tomorrow. I would have preferred Lex doing the commentary, but I understand you already covered Team Canada. Yeah, I would have been tired, and honestly, that would have been a really hard game to call in very fun way, honestly. Yeah, you might have heard me. You might have been more upset listening to me talk during that game. Seriously, because in some ways, things are going good. Yeah, I can get all amped. But things go real bad, you could see me start to get depressed. So in some ways, that's not good entertainment. watching me watch the Raptors lose by 40 is not good entertainment. Let me just put it that way. Yeah. Fiercely saying, no, Cowboy, we play the Spurs tomorrow at 7:30. Okay. So she just dropped knowledge on me. I did not know that. I'm going to give Fiercey a 3-pointer because she just told me when the game is. It's at 7:30 tomorrow night. We're going to play the San Antonio Spurs Summer League team. This is fantastic. So it sounds like the Spurs are not going to be in the thing. All right, Fiercey, you're going to 154. 154 dunks for Fiercey for information. So we're going to play the Spurs. I thought they were in the championship round. Maybe they didn't make it. That's crazy. Okay, so they must have lost yesterday or something and have one loss because only undefeated teams got to the semifinal. So yeah, Spurs 7:30 tomorrow night. Okay, let's bring it. Let's see. Stephon Castle's not playing though. So yeah, I'll do some research on the Spurs tonight and I'll be ready to preview them during the watch along with Canada and Puerto Rico. Thank God they're not at the same time. That was a big nightmare I was thinking I might have. that they're going to put the Raptors and Team Canada at the same time tomorrow. Don't do that to the Raptors freak. No, don't do that. Cowboys saying, thank you, eye candy. Yeah, he's saying thanks, eye candy. Yeah, dap. G saying, does DJ remind you of Norman a bit? No, because DJ really is truly a guard, and Norman to me was always kind of a swing, kind of a guard forward. He was really, I liked him at small forward a lot, but DJ Card's not going to play small forward. I mean, maybe the hops are similar in that way, but Norman's bigger than DJ. And that's the thing. That's why it's so impressive, DJ Carton's athleticism. So I can't say that I see that. I would say maybe DJ Carton reminds me of somebody like Robert Pack. You know Robert Pack is from back in the day? Yeah, that's who he reminds me of. He kind of reminds me of Robert Pack. They even have kind of a poofy mushroom hairstyle too, both of them. Fiercely saying, okay, I have to say it. Quite disappointed. The WNBA Skills Challenge participants kept advancing and winning despite missing lots of shots. Not a good look, but three-point event was fun and legit. I did not watch it because I was watching the Miami Raptors game, and that was going on at the same time. And I know you took a break from the Summer League game to go watch the skills competition. I heard that the same young lady won both competitions last night, skills and three-point, and that was the first time that's ever happened in WNBA history. Also saw a clip of Brittany Griner riding off the court in a luxury vehicle. I don't know. It seemed like it was a fun time. Listen, it's like everything. The WNBA, the NBA, their all-star weekends, they kind of need to be pepped up and more fun. And in some ways, the problems the NBA are having, well, WNBA, maybe you could do better with your all-star and like show the NBA how to do all-star correctly. I don't know. That it didn't look professional because a lot of misses. Well, let's clean up that stuff too, right there. Yeah. Yeah. Nako's saying 6 years as a non-rotation NBA player is 2 trips through the Starbucks drive-through. Damn, Gerald. Gerald's brought his comedy pen. He's writing it down. All right. I'll give you a 3-pointer for that. Cracking on Corey Alexander like that. Going after him. You know, I don't mind Corey Alexander as a player. In fact, I am Spurs Nation, and I do respect that. 23, you got the Michael Jordan, Fred VanVleet, Jamal Shed. 23, Nako the Nacho. I listen. I think that you're funny right here. That's pretty funny. Yeah. Alan's here. Alan Tam. Bam, son. France doesn't have enough talent. Only Gobert and Wemby. No Embiid. He sold out France. Yes. All right, good. Alan's going to bring up the Team Canada game. This was a big part of how we won. We had overall more talent than them. Sure, they had 2 gargantuan, crazy-ass defensive players of the year candidates in their lineup, Wembanyama and Gobert. That's really their biggest strength. Other than that, I mean, who else is there? Nando DeColo's doing some things here and there. Evan Fournier is a little bit of a threat, but otherwise, that team is not very rich with NBA talent or high-level talent. In fact, you see it in the guard play of France, and you see how Jordi Fernandez very smartly was very dogged on the guard play. The guard defense of the Canada team yesterday was absolutely phenomenal. I'm so proud of all of them. They all had the same kind of intensity, and it really, really worked to stymie and hurt France from getting anything going. And you saw how Wembanyama and Gobert were not as effective as they should have been. In fact, they weren't even the leading scorers for France. That Yabusele guy scored the most points for France. And, well, I'm going to give a lot of credit to Dylan Brooks. You know, let's do my stars of the game for that Canada game real quick. I don't have a very good box score, because apparently it's really hard to find FIBA-friendly box scores everywhere. Now, my number 1 star of the game is RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett had 21 points, shooting 4 of 8 from the field. He got most of his points at the free throw line, 10 of 12 at the free throw line, 3 of 4 at the three-point line. RJ was fantastic. He was dialed in. He had a fire, an intensity, a forcefulness, and playing in a physical, aggressive way. That's the RJ Barrett we like to see. And I really love seeing both him and Kelly be shooting their threes really good yesterday. So RJ Barrett's my number 1 star. I'll go ahead and give Kelly Olynyk the 2nd star. Well, no, I should give SGA the 2nd star for sure. SGA, the leading scorer, 23 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 6 of 13 from the field, 9 of 10 at the free throw line. SGA being that leader and taking over. No Jamal Murray. Who cares? The SGA is out there to lead the team and do the stuff. At some points, we saw SGA silky smooth with his offense and his footwork and going around the French defense and just scoring at will. It's so beautiful. He really is a top-level player in this entire world. And the other thing and this is something that was pointed out on Twitter by someone. The thing that's interesting about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is that he gets these. Some people call him a free throw merchant in the NBA. Some people say that he baits and gets too many free throws to the free throw line, and that the referees are helping him. No. You're wrong. He does get to the free throw line a lot in the NBA, but that's deserved because the style of play that he plays, he's a long, fast player, and he is drawing contact on purpose. This is part of his game. So everybody, you can think that free throw merchants like Joel Embiid or like SGA, but that's not true. And you know what is the proof? You look at these friendlies that these teams have been playing this past week, Joel Embiid and SGA, and look at what's happened with them with the FIBA officials. Joel Embiid doing some flopping and shit. They ain't falling for it. And they're actually getting him in foul trouble, and he's been deemed a very poor FIBA player. In fact, he probably won't be starting for USA very soon in this Olympics because he's actually a detriment to the team because he's a horrible actor, and he's trying to flop all over the place. And the FIBA officials ain't having it. So the foul merchant that he is in the NBA does not translate here, and it shows that the NBA is propping up that sorry-ass Joel Embiid with getting him to the line to help him try and be an MVP candidate. And meanwhile, SGA goes to FIBA, and what happens? He's getting calls, and he's going to the line, and he's shooting free throws. That's the difference right there. That's a legitimate guy who's getting contact, who does it the right way in the NBA and in FIBA, and it's the same at both levels. Meanwhile, you look at Joel Embiid, he ain't getting no calls in FIBA because they don't have to kiss his ass like the NBA does. So I'll say that right there. That is a stark comparison right there. That SGA is a true free throw merchant getting it the ethical way, and then you got Joel Embiid with no ethics at all with how he tries to draw fouls. Yeah, I'm going to give the third star to Dillon Brooks, actually. Dillon Brooks didn't score a whole lot. He only got 8 points, but he did an amazing job on Victor Wembanyama. He just taught a class yesterday on how to stop Victor. Seriously. And I'm like, holy crap. I could only imagine before the game, Dillon Brooks coming up to Fernandez. I want him. I want him. I want Victor. I want Victor. No, I can't. I got to have a serious face. I can't have any kind of, I want Victor. And Jordy's like, okay, yeah, sure, Dillon, we'll put you on Victor. Yeah, well, perfect, because he can guard him. He can guard him better than centers, apparently, because that man is using his body. He knows exactly how to guard Victor. Victor needs to be off balance. If he's feeling like his footwork and he's set, he can make his shots. But if you kind of keep him off a little bit off his balance, like Villain's just pushing into him, it works. It works. And boy, does Houston have a really good player to try and stop Victor Wembanyama and Dillon Brooks. It's not even their center. This guy's a guard forward. This guy could be playing shooting guard, and he's nullifying the unicorn, the alien, the guy coming in this league that's going to dominate soon. Dillon Brooks figured out the antidote, and he did it last night. He did it in a major way, and I love it. I love him for it, and I love that he's up for that challenge. It's like, look, in some ways we could get all worried about France having a Twin Tower setup. Yeah, all right, we'll put our real big on Gobert because he's slow and goofy, and he's so goofy. Oh, my gosh, Gobert is so goofy. But Dillon, who's a defensive specialist, wants to have Wembanyama. Okay, go right ahead, Dillon. Teach a class on how you stop Victor Wembanyama. Because that's what he did basically yesterday. He taught a class. Hey, guys, everybody, check this out. This is how you stop Victor. Hello, my name's Professor Brooks. So good. All right, now I'll do Kelly. Kelly is my 4th star of the game. Kelly came out, and he had a stretch of the game where he was just a badass. He was doing good things for us on both ends. And I love him making a transition 3. The confidence of that. There was some really good confidence in Kelly Olynyk yesterday. 14 points, 6 of 7 from the field. Fantastic shooting. 2 of 3 from 3. Only 1 rebound and 1 assist, but I really like what Kelly did on the court yesterday. Really, really good job. And my 5th star is, it's a toss-up. I kind of want to give it to Nembhard. I will give it to Nembhard. I'll give it to Nembhard. Nembhard, 10 points, 5 assists, 1 rebound, 5 of 8 shooting. He shot really well. He was active. He was definitely one of the important scorers to do certain things for Team Canada last night. So, Andrew Nembhard, your future is very bright in the NBA and for Canada and FIBA play. And, man, I really am excited about our Team Canada getting better and better over the years. And Andrew Nebhart is one of the faces of that. I will give the honorable mention to Kem Birch. In fact, it's amazing. What did Lex do a month ago? He did a stream on a Wow Wednesday talking about how Kem Birch is back, baby. And I called this like a month ago. Now everybody's on Twitter last night saying, wow, Kem Birch, I'm so impressed. Maybe Canada does have some bigs. Maybe Canada is going to be okay. They saw something in Kem coming out. And I'm glad Jordy played him earlier in the game. Because in some ways, he's been playing Kem as the end of the bench with Melvin Ejim in them. That's not right. In fact, I will say this. Part of the reason why the game against USA last week in Vegas went the way it did is not just because Jordy held the good stuff that he actually has away from that game. It's not just the hockey changes that he did, where he changed all 5 players through that game. He did wholesale changes that game, which is not the way he actually coaches. In fact, the game yesterday showed more the defense, the rotational genius of Jordy Fernandez, of how he subs guys in and out. We saw a big lineup at one point with no Wembanyama and no Gobert out there. But meanwhile, we got Kem, Powell, and Olynyk out there running together, stuff like that. So we played 3 bigs when they didn't even have their 2 monster bigs in. So very, very interesting substitutions. No, and the reason why we lost to USA in some ways is that friendly was supposed to be a showcase where USA is not supposed to lose. And if we beat them, it shows them up, and it's not a good thing. In some ways, they don't want that. So Jordy, in some ways, was not trying to win that game in Vegas against USA last week. In fact, if he had been wanting to win that game a little bit more, he may have made a very simple couple changes and we would have won. If you really winders the shit. That game was not a blowout. That game was close. And Canada, if we had done the regular substitutions that Jordy normally does, which is a big part of what makes him so good, because what happens is he was subbing so fast last night that he had energy bursts in his players. The turbo boost is what I said yesterday. In a game, you can run your guys on turbo boost, but they run out and they start getting tired. Well, if you take guys in and out so quickly, Dylan Brooks can go all out. Then Andrew Nebhart can go all out. Then Nickel can go all out. That's the thing. So that smart rotation of keeping a very high level intensity, energetic defense, it was part of it. We didn't do that against USA. We played the same 5 guys for like 6 minutes. Then we brought another 5 guys in, the next 5 guys, and they played 6 minutes. And that adjustment could have ended up in Canada beating the U.S. I'm not lying. The other adjustment they could have made was inserting Kem Birch earlier to impede Joel Embiid. Yeah, put him in a little bit earlier on Anthony Davis and Joel Embiid. But he played with the 3rd team in that game and didn't come in until the game was kind of out of reach at that point. So I'm saying, listen, y'all can gauge certain things about the friendly against USA and say this and that, but we did not put our best effort or best things into that game. And that's a big part of it. Now, Kem Birch is showing a hops. He actually can lift off the ground, and everybody's going crazy on Twitter about it. I was like, I told y'all this is coming. That's why watching this channel, you'll be ahead of the curve, and you'll understand what the future may be coming to, because we're predicting and we're seeing it, and quite often the success rate's very high. So everybody who's going on about Kem Birch on Twitter last night, well, I was talking about this weeks ago before the draft even happened. Yeah, are we going to see him in Paris? And are we going to see the rejuvenated, healed knee of Kem Birch and just how good he can be? Is right there. We saw it right there. We saw it right there. That's right. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, I'll go over the rest of the box score just real quick. Trey Lyles, not the best game. 2 points. 0 for 2. Dwight Powell is not bad. He was 1 for 1, only 4 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. He's in there scrapping. I can't get mad at him. Nickel, not the best game, but him and Dort were both very good defensively. In fact, Dort was fantastic in the first half on defense, even though he didn't score any points or anything like that. And of course, we saw late in the game, Cabangeli and the scrubs come in. Yeah, that was pretty cool. But on the other side, how about this? Wembanyama only 10 points, shooting 4 of 7. We limited him. And Gobert, 12 points. He was 6 for 6 with 6 rebounds. Those guys could have been way worse. In some ways, the guys for France that were a problem were Bilal Coulibaly, Yabusele, and Nando De Colo. Those were the guys who were kind of really being shit disturbers and causing problems. But once again, I'll say that France matchup with us is a good one, and we will probably beat them every time we play them, and that's partly because of Dylan Brooks. partly because of him. Now, they came out on ESPN with the rankings of the Olympic teams. The power rankings came out this morning. USA, of course, is number one. And then Serbia is number two. But guess who's number three? That's right. They're saying Canada is the third ranked team in the power rankings for the Olympics right now. For years, Canada has been the FIBA team of the future as it continues pumping talent in the NBA. Of the 12 players on this Olympic roster, only Melvin Ejim has never played in the league, and 10 were in the NBA last season. The future finally arrived last September when Canada reached the semifinals and beat USA for its first medal since the 1936 Olympics. 8 players from that group returned, supplemented by the addition of 2023 NBA champion Jamal Murray. Canada is not as strong in the front court, a potential weakness against the other teams in the top 4, but a favorable draw could easily put Canada in the gold medal game. That's ESPN ranking it, and France is number 4. So we beat the number 4 team yesterday on their rankings. 5 is Germany, 6 is Australia, 7 Greece, 8 Spain, all the way down there, 9 Brazil, 10 Puerto Rico, 11 South Sudan, and then the 12th team ranked lowest in the Olympics is Japan. So, yeah, that's the ESPN power rankings. Now, talking about Jamal Murray, some people are worried about Jamal Murray not playing yesterday. They're trying to read into it way too much. I'm going to say this once again. All right, there's a couple concerns they have. First of all, there's concerns about him gelling with SGA and the other Team Canada guys. Is that happening in the right way fast enough for the Olympics next week? In some ways, some people are going to say, if Jamal doesn't suit up and play against Puerto Rico, this is really, really bad. I might agree with that because we do need him to get in there and tune up. Now, some of the problem is that some people are saying that Jamal didn't look like he was playing very well with the other guys on Canada against the USA. Well, I'm going to say this right now. Y'all are crazy because you don't understand. Team Canada has been playing and scrimmaging in Toronto for like a month and a half. These guys have been around each other for a while. And you may not have seen much of connection with Jamal Murray and the other Canadians in the first game and the friendly game against USA, but it's there behind the scenes. Trust me on this. So every expert, every Twitter person, every media journalist that's questioning or worried about Jamal Murray not playing yesterday and whether he's meshing with everybody, just put your fears away. Come on. It's ridiculous. Maybe it didn't look good in Team USA, but in some ways that's Team USA, and those kind of things are weirder. You guys will see it, especially if he suits up tomorrow and plays against Puerto Rico. A big reason why Jamal did not play yesterday is because he got to France 2 days after the whole rest of the team. He could have been still a little jet lagged. So he's not hurt. He's maybe got one little nagging injury, but it really was kind of, you know what, we're going to hold him out for this one. I have no problem with it. I think that there are people overreacting to Jamal Murray not playing yesterday, and they need to just shut up. And don't worry about him meshing with people. That's Jamal Murray. It's SGA. It's the Team Canada. They're going to be fine. And trust me, they've been meshing real nice behind the scenes. There's not the vibes are immaculate. I'm going to tell people that right now. Now, if Jamal suits up tomorrow against Puerto Rico and goes off, all fears will be assuaged by those negative Nancy's and Chicken Littles worried about Jamal Murray not playing yesterday. Oh, my gosh. Ooh, get all bent out of shape about nothing, y'all idiots. Yeah, he looked good in his wine tracksuit, his hoodie. So, yeah, having a joke and a laugh with Jordy. Yeah, so I'll tell people, don't be all upset about that. Yeah. You know, Embiid would fit that team very well, Alan Tam, Bam, son. Embiid is perfect for the big, goonish, weird, freaky guys on France, the bigs on there. I mean, he would fit perfect with Gobert. Could you imagine Gobert and Embiid on the court together for France? It would be so goofy and gross and dumb. One thing I will say is France needs to worry because their 2 best players do not connect well. I don't know. Victor was not at FIBA World Cup last year, and he didn't play for them. He's busy with the Spurs in Summer League, right? So I don't know if there's a natural chemistry between Wembanyama and Gobert. It's partly because Wembanyama is so young and green, and he's really not developed to the full extent of what he's going to become. And Gobert's just a goof. In some ways, he's awkward and clumsy. And in some ways, watching the two of them try and play off each other is kind of hilarious, to be honest. It's just as hilarious as Rudy at the line trying to shoot free throws with that cock hitch, weird-ass fucking free throw method that he uses. So, yeah, there's some hilarity in that team. France is weird, man. Their team is impressive in certain ways, but it's not. It's not. And they're weaker than they were last summer. I don't know if this team's better with Wemby on it, is what I'm saying. Is that amazing or what? You would think, oh, add 7'4" Frenchman Victor Wembanyama, number 1 pick in the draft, rookie of the year. Friends will get better. That's not for sure. In fact, I think they may be worse with Wemby out there and Gobert than they were last year. I felt like France was better last summer than they were yesterday and in the scrimmage this week. What's different? Victor, that's what's different. Don't tell me it's Nicholas Batum being out. Nah, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Yeah. Fiercely Sauceros, not the Wish version. Alexis in savage mode. Yeah, Corey Alexander, wish version of Corey Joseph. That's the Wish version. You ordered Corey Joseph from Wish and you got Corey Alexander. That's your own damn fault. That's your own damn fault. That's right. Reston Murray. Nobody freak out about that. There's no problem with that. Seriously. Seymour Pape is here. Good to see the sheriff holding it down in the Calgary, Alberta region for the Raptor Freak family. Embiid sold out the world by disrespecting his home nation and playing for USA. What a bum. The crazy thing is, he's such a bum. He's going to be a failure within the U.S. team. That team is so set up to do everything and just ram roughshod through the whole Olympics. But there will be a blight in the middle of it. There will be a failure in the middle of it. And that will be the failure for Joel Embiid to be able to play FIBA at any kind of level because he sucks so bad with his stupid ass shit. In some ways, FIBA is showing the truth about Joel Embiid and his ugly ass basketball game and how unethical it is. FIBA refs are ethical. NBA refs, it's questionable. But FIBA refs are ethical, and they ain't going to reward you for your shit, is what I'm saying right there. So even if USA wins the gold and goes all the way through, it could very well be Joel Embiid is kind of like the disappointment of the team because he couldn't play the FIBA game. I love it when things still work out the way they're supposed to, even when people try and do shitty-ass, stupid things. Joel, you go ahead and get that shallow, hollow, fucking gold medal just in case USA gets there, just so you can feel like a little bit of a winner. It'll be such a fake-ass, unethical fucking gold medal you got. And we'll all be laughing about it, seriously, in some ways. There you go. There you go, Seymour. I love it. G saying, this is why I do not understand the trade Pirtle crowd. Do they not see how hard it is to have a proper center? Carlson can shoot a 3, but he can't catch the ball. Shamshe is very raw, lots of potential. Yeah. I mean, I listen, you know where I am with the Jakob Pirtle stuff. Defending him against people that just don't understand basketball. These people that just overvalue the 3-point shot in offense. You just do not understand how important Jakob Pirtle is to this team. And if they won't get it, they'll never get it. In some ways, youngster, come in and get some schooling from old Raptor Freak head. So he could teach you why Jakob Pirtle is essential to our success on the Raptors. That's right. I'll never get it either. In some ways, Jakob could teach Brendan Carlson some things on how to catch the ball very, very soon. And I hope he does. Trevor J saying, good morning, Raptors family. Don't complicate life. We won't be here forever. Your time is too valuable to waste on nonsense. There you go. I like that, Trevor. That's a good one. Yeah, life is short, so make the best of it. And in some ways, don't be afraid to make big changes in your life. Even if it doesn't seem like it's safe or it doesn't feel well, go and be daring, because those who dare reap the rewards is what I'll say right there. Thank you, Trevor J, for being here. The Commissioner of Fun. We got the classic card of the day. I don't know if Commissioner Trivia is around, David. If he's around, we'll do that classic card. We'll figure it out at some point. I'll play it. Alan saying, when Canada's playing Puerto Rico, they're playing tomorrow at noon, Alan, and I will be live calling the game once again. So please join me, Alan Tam. Bam, son. And we will be live calling the game tomorrow. I hope you'll enjoy hearing my call and come in and supplement the audio, your visual with old Lex's crazy-ass call. Yeah, you'll hear some crazy shit, and I am very much biased. I will be calling it for Canada. That's right. Cowboys saying, I forgot the Raptors game was on last night, but didn't look like I missed much. But from the highlights, I wish we put Ulrich against Ware. I believe he would have gave him more problems. That's exactly what the adjustment was for the second half, Cowboy. Carlson got 8 up by Ware right away. 8 up. Ware was aggressive. Ware came with the force and the intensity, and Carlson wasn't ready. He looked shook. And in some ways, he was really, really bad right off the bat. And it gave us the worst of Carlson. We've seen really good of the Carlson stuff that he can do with the threes and blocking shots, but we had to see the bad side of Carlson, and we did last night. But the thing is, I'll give the kid some credit. He didn't hang his head too much. He could have gotten his own head and been upset that he didn't start the second half and Comshay did. That was the better matchup. Comshay was playing Ware way better because they're more physically skilled, similar. And in some ways, he was a better shadow to guard Kelly Ware than Brendan Carlson. So, but I will give credit to Carlson. He didn't hang his head to the point where he was absolutely not contributing by the end of the game. He did hit a three, and he did do some important stuff later. And so that shows a sign that he didn't give up on himself, even though he had absolutely one of the worst halves ever in his basketball career before that. But yeah, Ulrich held his own with Kellel. Way better. Much better physical matchup with their frames and their skill set. Yeah. But, Comshay's younger, and he's much more raw. So in some ways, we can't expect him to be perfect. Yeah. Trevor's saying we did not come to play last night. I was sitting there throwing my hands up in the air. I cannot believe what I saw. I was saying, what the hell? Trevor J is such a diehard Raptor freak. Did you sit through the whole entire game, Trevor? That must have been hard, especially with all the goofiness around you. There may be people talking out of pocket shit in the crowd near Trevor J. But Trevor J, our commissioner of fun in Las Vegas, sitting in the crowd, taking in the debacle of the Raptors losing by 36 to the Miami Heat last night in Summer League. You're a real one, Trevor. I'm going to give you, for just being there and showing up and being there in this craziness, Trevor, you're going to get, I'm going to give you a 10-pointer right now. We're going to give Commissioner of Fun, Trevor J, just for this whole week of great excellence, 52 dunks for you, Trevor J. Man, you are the best for being there for our team. There may not have been a whole lot of Raptor fans that hung around for that whole entire game. And thank God Trevor J was there representing the RFF. There you go. Nako saying Carlson feels like a gamble on the floor being so high. Carlson feels like a gamble on the floor being so high. You mean like smoking weed like us, Joe? Carlson smoking out? Do you know something about his private life that I don't know? Is he a Kevin Durant kind of guy? I don't think that's what it is. What do you mean so high? You mean like his height? What do you mean, Nako? That's such a weird comment. Cowboy said, great job, Canada. Let's go. Yeah. I wish I had the team stats, but I don't have a proper box score. This is like, it's so hard to find FIBA box scores sometimes. Really is. I would go over the team stats and talk about exactly how Team Canada outplayed France, but I don't have access to this team stats. I have a half-ass fucking box score. I need a full-ass box score. G saying RJ is going to go beast mode this year. Kelly is better than ever. Kelly's just got that acumen. There were parts of the game where it's like, all right, Kelly's being Kelly. There was one part where he got a really crazy basket, just a fluke kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, this is exactly Kelly kind of stuff. It's not pretty sometimes, but the Kelly Olynyk stuff is fun. I really do enjoy watching Kelly Olynyk on my team. But when he's playing for the Celtics or the Heat, I hate him. I absolutely hate him. But when he's playing with his ugly ass, crazy ass shit on my team, I love him. And I love him times two right now because he plays for both my teams right now, Canada and the Raptors. So I'm excited about this year for our Canadian Raptors on Team Canada. Both of them showed really good stuff last night. And I'm hoping they come back. Like, we really want Kelly to make more of his threes this season. And we need RJ to flesh out his game even further as a more complete player in the NBA also. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Let's see. Alan's saying trade Bruce Brown. Well, like I said, Alan, Bobby Webster saying he's not getting traded at this point. We're done doing trades. There's no offers out there, and there's no realistic thing that's going to move Bruce Brown at this point. He's going to be playing for us this year. Now, if he gets traded in the middle of the season, that's another story. Seymour saying, thank God for air conditioners, plus 40 yesterday in Calgary. Yeah. Stay hydrated and also stay in shelter and do what you can. That's crazy heat. Yeah, there is warming around the world. We're having hotter and hotter temperatures around the world in all kinds of different places. And a plus 40 day in Calgary yesterday, that symbolizes that right there. Wayne saying, Raptor streaks, please don't freak out about a summer league game. It's basketball, but it's similar to a pickup game. Damn right, Lex. Grady's job is to do what he did. Stop writing his job description. Yeah, I mean, he's not being a distraction. He's showing up. He cares. It's just, somebody wanted him to sit near the coaches and be like very much involved in like giving direction like Scotty would. And I'm like, well, Scotty's unique. You got to understand, Scotty in some ways is the best player on our team, and he has the right to kind of tell people what to do. And Grady can't really do that. He doesn't have that weight to throw around. as a leader. It's kind of like the Michael Jordan thing. Michael Jordan could tell somebody fuck off and punch Steve Kerr if he wants because he's Michael Jordan. Well, Scotty Barnes is Scotty Barnes. And in some ways, even though he's one of the younger players on the team, he's so talented and gifted. They can listen to him and be like, you know what? I'll listen to you, even though I'm like 10 years older than you, Scott, and I've been in the NBA way longer than you. So it's stuff like that. That's kind of the difference right there as far as I feel about this. Yeah, no overreacting to this game. In some ways, it was a showcase for the Kelly Ware and the Miami Heat last night. And the Raptors, well, they got a learning lesson. That's what happened there. Yeah. Cowboys saying, I ain't worried at all. Raptors are back, baby. Yeah, let's see how we do against the Spurs. Let's see if we can beat them. I got to do a proper scout on it because I haven't paid attention to the Spurs in Summer League yet. But I'll go look and see what they've been doing, and I'll talk about our chances against them, depending on things. Yeah, 100%. Let's fucking go. That's right, Seymour. That's right. Cowboys saying, any news on Jomo? Will he be back next game? That would be nice. I have no idea. I have no idea. In some ways, I was thinking that he could have played yesterday. I knew Grady's probably not going to play again in Summer League, guys. I don't think he will. Now, I think he's disappointed in that. He probably is like, I can play, but they're probably like, Grady, we know what you can do. You've had a good Summer League already. You had 2 games and you did great. You got hurt. We want to take precaution. In some ways, we put you back out there and you get hurt even further and you mess up something for the season. No, we don't want to do that. These Summer League games don't matter. So Grady Dick don't play tomorrow. Who cares? Now, Mobo, maybe they do get him back out there. I actually honestly thought Mobo would return last night, but he didn't. He was still sitting on the sideline. Trevor's saying, when you have a good friend, and he said, I got you. He told me I'm going to take care of everything. He said to me that I take care of him when he didn't have nothing. There you go. All right, Trevor J. All right, I see you there. You got a good friend who's taking you to Phoenix to go watch the WNBA All-Star game from Vegas, and then you're going to go right back to Vegas and watch this last game for the Spurs. Are you going to be there for the Spurs game tomorrow, Trevor? Let me know in the comments, please. Mason saying, I believe that it's going to take time. Remember, guys, most of the fans who wanted this change are complaining. Well, the thing is, a rebuild takes time. We got rid of most of the vet rebuild around Scotty. It's normal. Yeah. This is what I would say about this, Mason Culligan. And they said this about this last night, is that this is an idiot. This guy said, the announcer said, the Raptors traded their best player, OG Anunoby, last year. OG's good, trust me, but OG has never, ever been the best player on the Raptors. Not at any point. Not at any point was OG the best player on the Raptors this whole time he was on the Raptors. I'm sorry. Siakam, you could say Siakam was the best player on the Raptors last year, and we traded him, but the announcers are so stupid. They're going to shade Siakam still. And they're like, oh, after an afterthought, they're like, oh, yeah, they did trade Pascal Siakam too. And honestly, Scotty Barnes is the best player on the Raptors last year in a lot of ways. So the announcers are whatever, they're stupid ass shit and stuff like that. No, this is true. Rebuild's going to take time, and the fans have no patience. Well, they can F off. They're not going to be people I'm going to listen to or care about what they say, because honestly, impatience does not build in the correct way. And a lot of teams around the league are good examples of that they don't get as far or do as well with their development curves because they're impatient. So fans, we ain't got no time for your energy like that. Raptor Freak family is very much patient, going to go with the team, the coaches, the management of the Raptors on the schedule that they are going to go on. And y'all trying to make your own world and what you want and your demands, Veruca Salt, get over yourself. You ain't getting a damn Oompa Loompa, is what I'm going to say to you right there. Yeah, get over yourself. Mason saying, Robert Pack, hell yeah. Yeah, he was awesome, wasn't he? Robert Pack for the Nuggets. Oh, man, that guy had hops. And that's what I'm hearing. DJ Carton's got them Robert Pack hops. That's right. Mason saying RJ Barrett was on his game. Yeah. The Eye of the Tiger, mean mugging, fierceness. Yeah. A lot of left and a little bit of right. Yeah. A lot of left and a little bit of right there for RJ Barrett. Yeah. He's so awesome. I'm such a huge fan of RJ. Really, really am. Mason saying he's going to take a big leap for us this year. Yeah. Hopefully it's on the defensive end and we see some new dimensions to his defense. That's what we're hoping right there. Seymour is laughing. Let's see. Cowboys saying Kelly looking stronger. No Diddy. Well, how's Kelly Olynyk looking stronger at this point? I guess he did have some bad moments in the game last night where he kind of got beat badly by the bigs on France. So in some ways, Kelly still has defensive liabilities for Canada as a big. And in some ways, it's sad because he's our most skilled big in some ways. But in some ways also, he is not the best defensive big on our team. In some ways, this is where I would insert Kem Birch. And he's going to be so integral for Team Canada in these Olympics. People have to realize Kem Birch is going to be a Canadian hero very soon because he's going to do something for the team that a lot of people think there's a glaring hole. That's a lot of what the press about Team Canada is. Well, they just don't have a front court. They just can't do anything. Well, Kem Birch shows up, any kind of semblance of front court defensive and rim protection and holding the paint with space, people will open their eyes and say, wait, we didn't think that Kem Birch had it in the tank anymore. Well, he does. He does. Their early returns from the game last night are against Gobert and Wembanyama that Kem Birch can still play. That's right. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Blackhawk is saying France has a cheat code they will be releasing during the Olympics. Package the dancing bear with Gobert and Wemby. That will be a dangerous combo. The dancing bear. Who are you talking about? The dancing bear. You mean Gobert? I don't know. I don't know who you mean, Neil. This is weird. The surgery Kem had after he left the Spurs worked. Someone should interview him about because the surgeries before that weren't as effective. Who was the surgeon for the last surgery? You know, in some ways, Neil, we can look at this and say, maybe there were different surgeons and different things. No, you know what? We can't even say that may be the reason why. You can't blame the first surgeon or this surgeon. You may have to blame that the issue just wasn't fixed, and it was a timetable of how he healed. Sometimes, look, part of it was he was playing for Nick Nurse, and he was trying to heal from a knee injury. And in some ways, he was having fluid drained from his knee every off day when he was on the Raptors during that period of time. I can remember Nick talking about it. He's like, yeah, well, we'll get up in the morning and we'll see how Kem's knee looks, whether it's all big and puffy and he can practice or not. It was really kind of like that. Well, in some ways, playing for Nick Nurse and being on the Raptors and trying to continue to play when you're not taking full time off and healing, that may have been more of a bigger factor. Now, when he got traded to the Spurs, he really did go to the bench, and they did not use him a whole lot. So that may have been part of it there, is that he wasn't actively trying to work to come back, and he actually gave it a real good rest. So I think that's more likely what it was that he was trying to play hurt with the Raptors for a while there. We really needed him. That was part of the reason why. And Nick, you know how Nick is. He's going to put people out there probably more than they should be out there. And, well, that's really a lot of it right there. I think that just time healed him and that he had an actual period of time where he could actually convalesce and make it better. So I think that that's what it is. I wouldn't go looking for the original surgeon. It could have taken a lot of different surgeries to build up to repair his knee. So we could, woulda, coulda, shoulda this. But I'll tell you, I think time heals the wound. That's what does it the best right there. And not trying to work through it. Yeah, let's see. Wayne's saying SGA is a superstar. Dylan and Dort are basketball assets based on their roles. Their value will materialize in the coming weeks. Yeah. SGA is a superstar. And the guard prowess defensiveness of Canada was an all-star last night. Yesterday, those guys won that game. You go against monster bigs for the French team, two amazing, really big defensive player of the year candidates, number 1 and 2 in the rankings for the votes for defensive player of the year in the NBA. And then you win with defense on your guard position. It really was that treacherous moat that Team Canada built in the middle of the court in France, in Orleans, France yesterday, that made it so hard. In fact, it seemed like there was water on the court. How much slipping and sliding around everybody was doing. Those squeegee kids, you better get out there and squeegee that floor better. There was way too much slippage. In some ways, I get all conspiracy theory when I see a wet court where people are slipping and stuff. Is somebody trying to get somebody hurt in some ways? Is that something going on? Is there some sort of weird subterfuge or espionage where that court in Orleans, France was extra slippery? Because maybe somebody can get hurt or something like that. I hate that kind of shit because I worry about that kind of shit ever since Siakam did the splits in Dallas a couple of years ago in a Raptors game against the Mavericks. Sometimes these people that are taking care of the floors, they need to be more responsible and really understand how condensed and how much liquid and fluid is on the court, because it seemed like it was a dangerous amount in France yesterday. And we can't have none of our Canadian guys getting hurt. And thank God none of them did. But I always am suspicious of that kind of shit when I see that kind of stuff. But yeah, those guards were amazing and causing so much irritation on the point of attack defense in the backcourt. Bringing the ball up the court against Canada is difficult. And some half-ass non-NBA French point guards ain't going to be able to do it right. In fact, a lot of turnovers, a lot of harassment by Lou Dort, Dylan Brooks, Nickel Alexander-Walker, Nandrew Nebhard, and SGA. Those guys were all over them as a collective, and all of them were fantastic in that way, especially the leaders of Dort and Brooks. Those two guys are just they're the kingpins of that defensive intensity. And those other guys, well, they want to match it. You have the length of SGA and Nickel coming in there and having that kind of intensity too. Ooh, that's so hard to go up against right there. Yeah. Seymour saying, wait, we lost by 36? Yeah, it would have been worse. We were down by like 48 at one point. And they were talking about how we were going to lose the biggest margin of loss in Summer League history. If we had made a 52-point loss, we would have broke the record. So getting it down to 36 was actually an accomplishment, Seymour Pape, considering how the first half went. Yeah. Blackhawks saying Raptors rookies losing is a good thing. Yeah, I agree. Their weaknesses are exposed and they can work on them on the 905. This is what Summer League is for, development, learning experiences. And yeah, there's tape. There's a ton of Comshay tape that they could go and sit down with Ulrich and really, really, really teach him some stuff. In some ways, he's the one who has to learn the most. In some ways, he's absolutely the one that has to learn the most. But he seems like a really good learner. And I'm telling you, I'm seeing so many flashes of amazing athletic and aptitude talent in him. A little bounce pass he did in transition was a perfect pass. And we're seeing him really, really good instincts on defensive coverages and trying to get to rebounds. And I love it. I love it so much. He's going to be something. I'm really, really, really big on him. Yeah. Fiercely saying, yes, shout out to Trevor J for representing the fam and providing constant Vegas updates. Yeah, we really do appreciate you being there, Trevor. And also Sue was there at the beginning of Summer League also. Played against Sue down there. Give her a follow on her YouTube channel, her music reaction channel. I've been watching a lot of Sue this weekend. Really, really fun clips I was watching on Sue's channel yesterday. Let's see. Cowboys saying, yep, Sheriff, let's go, Raptors. Nothing to worry about. It's just the Summer League. It's what it is. In some ways, you could be like Miami and be all crazy and be competing. But in some ways, that's partly because they have Jaime Vasquez and Josh Christopher. And Kelly Ware is come in very much ready to play. So it's stuff like that. Let's see what else y'all are saying. Seymour's saying true. It's just Summer League. Cowboys saying, what is Jomo's injury? Well, you know what happened to him? He hit the ground really hard on his back. He got turned sideways and landed on his back, and he has a back injury. That's his injury right there, Cowboy. James saying Taylor Horton Tucker is a free agent. So should Masai throw him an offer? You know what, James? I've said this, and I'm on the record for this right now. The Raptors will not do any more moves or adding anybody because they have too many people already. They're going to have to cut someone. And especially because the ambiguity about whether Koloko will return, I'm really predicting right now the Raptors front office are holding off on doing anything more to add to the team until they understand exactly the ruling on Christian Koloko. In some ways, that makes sense because it'd be dumb to sign up guys right now and not have room just in case Christian is cleared to play this year and he is wanting to come back to the Raptors. So in some ways, we're keeping something open or some sort of flexibility on adding players with in mind that maybe we're reacquiring Christian Koloko. And I think that that's the smart strategy right now. So I'm not interested in any other names than Koloko until we find out exactly what's going to happen with him. So we'll see. We'll see. In some ways, that's the smart thing to do because we do want to continue to work with Koloko. The only reason why we lost him was because of a medical condition that was out of our hands. So I think that their priority is to see what happens with Koloko and his ruling and go after him and reacquiring him back on our team. Yeah, Cowboys saying barbecue and yak will make all rookies better when the season starts. This is true. In some ways, when you have better players around you, they will bring you up. And that we'll see that with Jacoby Walter specifically. We may see that a lot with Jamal Shed, that all of a sudden he's playing at a better level, partly because the players around him are better and they're catching his passes. Yeah. Angry Mexicans here. This has been a little while. Charlotte Hornets fan coming into the house. We got Hornets Nation in the house with us. Let's see what's going on here. Raptors are ranked 23rd in the new odds I've seen to win the championship. It's a shame you guys got rid of the best player, Siakam. I think you guys are definitely top 4 in the East with him. Yeah, we had to do what we had to do. In some ways, Angry Mexican, welcome. Good to see you again. It's been a bit. Listen, the changing of the guards, rebuilding around Scotty, it just had to happen this way. Siakam was great. If it could have worked, I don't think it could have, though, with the money. In some ways, a lot of ESPN articles are being written about, like, oh, if Raptors had kept one or two of the guys they let go between Fred, OG, and Pascal, they'd be in better shape right now. But no, we want to do a full reset. And at this point, we need to do this. We have to realize that Fred, OG, and Pascal were on the championship team, and they went through Tampa and the pandemic and all kinds of messed up shit since then. So in some ways, their luster of being Raptors and what they were used to, the ride coming up from 905 in the G League championship, in the bench mob, into the championship in 2019, well, they came down. And in some ways, they needed a new change. That was just part of the natural cycle that franchises go through. So you can understand that as a Hornets fan, right? So that's the old guard changing to the new guard, and we've reset. We're young. We're more like you guys. In fact, we've been put in a category with the Charlotte Hornets as a team that has a bright young star like LaMelo Ball, Scotty Barnes, that has a lot of promise as long as the youngsters continue to grow. So we're kind of in the same area as you guys in the league at this point, Charlotte Hornets. So, maybe we're your peers. Maybe we're not. Maybe we're better than you. We'll have to see when we meet each other this year. That's right, Hornets. Bring it. Bring it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But I appreciate what you're saying. And you think if we had kept Siakam, we would have been top 4? That could be true. That could be true. Trevor's saying, yes, I will be at the game tomorrow, flying back tomorrow morning to Vegas. So he's going to be at both games. He'll be at the All-Star game for the WNBA today, and he'll fly back to Vegas and be at the San Antonio Raptors game tomorrow night. Good stuff. Cowboys saying no to Taylor Tucker. James, the roster is great already. Yeah, in some ways, we don't have a lot of room. The problem isn't money. We do have money and exceptions to spend, which gives us flexibility if we want to change some of the players out at the last minute closer to training camp. But like I said, the roster spots are the problem. There's too many players on the Raptors roster right now, and tough decisions are going to have to be made. Like JFL is not guaranteed, and he really doesn't have a spot on this team right now. He really, really doesn't. Angry Mexican saying, do you think Nuggets should try Russ at point guard and Murray at shooting guard? This is such a weird situation because in some ways, I don't think of either one of them as point guards. Even though Jamal Murray has technically been the point guard for the Nuggets, I've never really thought of him as the point guard because of Jokic. So in some ways, this doesn't matter. They could be the two shooting guards, and Jokic is the pivot that does all the hub for passing. So in some ways, you take Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and you put Russell Westbrook in his spot. I don't know if that's an upgrade, but it's a steam and a Hall of Famer upgrade, I guess. But I don't know if it's an upgrade and helps the Nuggets get better. That's the problem. We'll have to see. I'll withhold judgment on Russell Westbrook being on the Nuggets because in some ways, that team is such a team-oriented team. It's very interesting to see a player like Russell come to a team like that and see if he just buys into the Nuggets culture and goes with it. So it's going to be an interesting experiment. I think it'll be successful. I think it'll be pretty good. In some ways, they're going to need the production from Russell, and he should be happy because he's probably going to start this year. And for a couple of years, Russell Westbrook hasn't necessarily been starting. Cowboy saying, we'll be top 4 without Spicy P. Angry Mexican. That's a Cowboy coming in and saying that. That's right. That's Cowboy. I'm going to give him a dunk. You get an alley-oop from Lex today, Cowboy. There you go. Let's see. Where's Cowboy? He's at 70. I'm going to give you a three-pointer. Why not? 73 for Cowboy. 73 dunks from Mr. Cowboy. Let's see. He's saying Shamshay. That's right. Where the F is Uncle St. David? I know. He was MIA yesterday, too. I will say this. David may be very much in the battle of the Bridge Championships of North America here in Toronto right now are going on. The World of Bridge, the card game that, people play all around the world, is having their North American Championships in downtown Toronto right now. And Raptor Freak David Saborin, Commissioner of Trivia, and Morgan are top-level bridge players in the world, and they are competing for the North American Championship right now. So this is a big reason why David's not here, is because I think he's at a table trying to play some bridge. But you know what? We'll do the classic card before we're done, even though, yeah. James is saying, rather have Koloko wave Sasha. There you go. See, he's with it. I'm just saying, we got to see what happens with the decision on Koloko before we make any other decisions. Wave Svenshenkov, that gives us a lot of easiness right there. That's what the Greek fans want. But if we waive him, we have to pay him still. What the fuck? That's why Bobby Webster and Masai Ujiri are hardballing with Sasha Venchenkoff about exiting from our team. Yeah, we want to get to the point where we're paying you hardly anything. You should not be fucking getting paid if you never wear our jersey. Sasha Venchenkoff. I will say that over and over again. Yeah. Monique is saying Northside Crew auditions happening right now via Instagram story. So Mo's on the Instagram right now, and she sees that Northside Crew is getting their dance crew ready for next season in our arena. And if you got the moves, you better get down there and get in the audition right now. You know what? I'll do the Instagram stories with that cue right there. We're starting with RJ Barrett showing a highlight of him making a basket in Orleans yesterday. SGA throwing the pass to him and then getting the pass from Dwight Powell and boom, hitting the three. Very, very nice. And then RJ sticks the tongue out. Yeah, let's go, Barrett. Let's go, Barrett. That's right. Yuta Watanabe with his teammates. It's going to be Germany versus Serbia. They're going to watch that. Japan getting ready for that. Let's see what else we got here. There's not a whole lot of Instagram stories. There's Jonathan Mobo celebrating Jacoby Walter on his Instagram. Very proud of his rookie classmate having a big game last night. So I like to see the support of Jomo for Jacoby. Very, very nice. Kelly Olynyk showing a great half-court shot he made before the game yesterday. Very, very awesome. He was feeling good yesterday. You could tell Kelly Olynyk was having a blast, and that he felt real in the zone in some ways. You could tell from the way he's playing, hitting the threes yesterday. So there's a highlight of him putting in an ugly-ass layup. That's fully Kelly ugliness, but it's effective. That's all that matters. He made the layup. It's pretty cool. Yeah, that pass was nice, and then a little turnaround. Yeah, Kelly had some nice baskets, and he shot a high percentage. Our Raptor Canadian players on Team Canada were absolutely fantastic yesterday. I love seeing it. Let's see. Slim Duck's got some guy singing on a microphone. I don't know. It's crazy. This was really cool. All right. Jacoby Walter is an interesting young man. He has a style motif to him. He has a certain way of carrying himself. He has things that he thinks are cool. And I think I like what he thinks is cool. In some ways, I've likened him to some of these artists that are out today that do a version of hip hop that's kind of mixed with emo music. And they always have the hair hanging in their face, and they're kind of singing sad rap songs. And they may be like using a little bit of auto-tune. They're kind of like standing in a dark beach, and they're lamenting the lost love of some baddie that they had. You know, that there's a lot of that kind of like energy from Jacoby Walter. And well, he had an interesting post yesterday, which ended with one picture at the end, a sorcerer going into a door in a tree. In some ways, it looks like my yard, where this picture of this sorcerer. And it made me think, it's like Jacoby looking at his NBA career like he's an RPG character. Like he's the sorcerer in the party. And like Scotty's like the bard or something. We're gonna have all these different roles. Like Jakob is a paladin or something like that. We got Jamal Shed playing the barbarian or something like that. We're gonna do stuff like that. And Jacoby Walter's gonna be like a sorcerer. You know, I would say the W word, but that's a team in the league. Yeah, because he has a picture of the sorcerer going into the tree and says, "On a quest right now, talk later." So is this what this is gonna be, Jacoby? Are you on Final Fantasy? Are you coming in out there like you're going to be the sorcerer in the party and you're going to cast the area of effect spells? Because I'm all about it. Seriously. If you want to use this motif, Jomo's about it too, because he put it on his Instagram stories. The picture of Jacoby Walter, the sorcerer, going into the tree on a quest right now. Talk later. Well, this quest has just begun. It's a long odyssey to carry the ring and throw it into the pit of hell, Sauron. So, yeah, we want Lord of the Rings, LARP, RPG, this shit, massive multiplayer online shit, this shit, Jacoby Walter, let's go. I'm all about this motif. If you really want to do this, if I see more Instagram stories of you making allusions to role-playing games, I'm all about it. I am all about it. I am here for it, Jacoby Walter. I very much am. Yeah. There it is. He's got more pictures in his Instagram stories, living it up at the Wynn Casino Ballroom. He's on the payphone wearing his Vince Carter shirt. Love to see it. Let's see. Jeff Landicho posting some stuff, the basketball producer of Open Gym, showing some great pictures from a Giants of Africa event that happened recently. We see Masai Ujiri and different people. They actually had some of the Giants of Africa players at the Wynn Casino Cristal Ballroom where the Raptors are playing and practicing. They had a Giants of Africa practice with some of the players from Giants of Africa actually playing on the court. And Jeff is there. Of course, he works for Masai and Giants of Africa at this point. But also, Jeff is doing a back-to-school backpack and basketball giveaway. So if you guys want to donate to a really good cause, follow Jeff Lanchino on social media. He has a cause for helping kids going back to school and giving them stuff for school supplies. So definitely get into that and try and help that out. I want to put everything good on blast. There's the highlights of the Giants of Africa guys in the Cristal Ballroom and the Raptors practice court. So there is a crossover of Giants of Africa going on in that arena, in that building also. Now, we got a really awesome, fantastic open gym episode yesterday that I was so happy to see. It warmed my heart. We saw the rookies sing happy birthday to the president, Masai Ujiri. Masai, listen, this is the thing. Masai doesn't have this kind of stuff put on blast very often. Now, we put his birthday on blast on this channel, and maybe that kind of woke the Raptors admin up to Masai's birthday, because they don't really normally do anything to note Masai's birthday. In some ways, he doesn't want that attention on himself. Well, they made a big deal out of it on the open gym episode. It was really cool to see all the rookies singing happy birthday to Masai. And then we also see Darko coaching and his speech on the open gym episode that came out yesterday. Fantastic. How inspiring is our coach, Coach Rajakovic? And seeing him work with Jama and Pat Delaney and all those guys, Coco, how they all work as a unit. And man, Darko is just awesome. He was so the right hire, guys. And I love that little part where he's saying, show us how you do that, Jama. And then we all do it. It's so silly, but team building and positive and good energy building. What Darko Rajakovic is doing. The portal of open gym shows us the reality of what's going on, and the vibes are strong. Those youngsters are really, really into it and all about it. And man, I love showing the love for Masai, and I love seeing Darko and his great words being revealed to us that way on open gym episodes. Keep going. Brandon Carlson on his Instagram stories showing clips from the game yesterday. But actually wasn't from the game. There's the clips from Oklahoma City games. So that's actually from last week. Coloco celebrating Justin Kier for Austin. I guess that's for Austin Spurs. It's for their summer league team. So Amari Moore is out and about doing stuff. Actually Amari, in the game yesterday, I didn't really look at him on the box score. Let me go do the bench for the Raptors summer league game last night. Amari showed some defensive chops, and he did try to do stuff off the bench, even if it wasn't totally effective. Amari Moore 1 for 3, 2 of 2 at the free throw line, 4 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. He was active. And the thing I really like about Amari is that he uses his length very, very well on defense. He's a skinny guy, but his arms are so long. We've seen in summer league him do really good defensive stuff. Now, he's a good scorer too. And there was a point where he tried to attack the rim and elevate, but Kelly Ware blocked him and stopped him from getting there. But I'm telling you, Amari Moore is a keeper, and he needs some more time on 905. But I still think that there's a path for him to possibly get to the main Raptors somehow, some way. Let's see. Quincy got in there, and he had some bright spots. 7 rebounds for Quincy Guerriere. He actually had a very nice basket, too. 4 points for him. 2 for 4 at the free throw line, but the 4 offensive rebounds were fantastic. Tyler Perry coming in and hitting a 3. He didn't look too bad. 4 points. I mean, those 2 little point guards that got in, Gerard and Perry, they were kind of fun together as a little backcourt fun late in the game. Joe Girard actually playing really pro, even though he's 2 of 8, 1 of 6 from 3, 5 points, but he had 5 rebounds, 2 assists. I actually thought that Joe Girard played a very ethical, clean game in a game that was absolutely chaotic and absolutely became a rout. But he came out there and played a real professional level, and I was kind of impressed with Joe Girard. I'm not going to lie. Disu was not good. 0 for 4, 0 for 2 from 3, 2 rebounds, and 1 block. Yeah, he was rough. He was rough to watch out there. But yeah, it's just a little bit of going over the box score. And Abaji, really dismal, bad game. 0 for 5 in the starting lineup, 2 points. At some point, they just we can't play you anymore. This has become so bad. And if you go out there and play, everybody's going to pile on you for really, really a bad game in certain ways. So Abaji, in some ways, had to wave the white flag and just go away and not be associated with what was happening against Miami last night. And that's the right thing to do. In some ways, I feel bad that Abaji's been playing at Summer League, actually, at the end of this. I really don't feel like Summer League was good for him in some ways. This may not have been good for his confidence, is what I'm saying on that. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the Instagram stories. There's some Pascal stuff. We don't need to cover Pascal. So, yeah, there's your Instagram stories of the Raptors. Yeah, lots of good media coming out. Open Gym, definitely watch it. Open Gym, definitely watch it. Yeah. Yeah, all right, let's see what else you guys are saying right now. Angry Mexican saying, what do you think of Cooper Flagg's ceiling? I haven't scouted him, Angry Mexican. I don't watch college. I've heard the name. I've heard that he is a top prospect for next year's draft, but I won't look at him until closer to the draft. I won't look into him until next summer. I don't care. I don't speculate like that. Now, you guys and us, we could be in the running to get Cooper Flagg depending on how our seasons go. But in some ways, we never trying to do that. We're not a tanking team. We're not trying to lose on purpose just to get a guy named Flagg. No, we ain't about that. We can get good picks anytime in the draft. I mean, we just got Ulrich Kamshay at the almost last pick of the draft. And we're good. We're good. We don't need to tank or lose to try and get a high draft pick. And even teams that do that, well, look at Alex Sarr. Look at Alex Sarr right now. Yeah, Alex Sarr, number 2 pick in the draft. Yeah, he sucks. So, like, why would anybody lose on purpose to try and get shitty players like Alex Sarr? That's what I say right there. Fiercely saying THT is clutch anyway, so no thank you. Yeah, we want to limit our clutch factor. They really definitely got to be Cameroonian maybe. That may be the rule. If you want to be on our team and you're clutch, you better be from Cameroon. Trevor's saying, have a wonderful Saturday, everyone. I'm going to get me some breakfast. Talk to y'all later. Well, you must be busy. You got to be jet set and high flying, highfalutin Ric Flair lifestyle. You better get to the airport or however you're getting to Phoenix or how you're doing it, Trevor. Mo's saying, good to see Quincy get some burnout there. Recently, second half free throws were great. Yeah, I think that our summer league team's gotten better at the free throw line as it's gone. They were really bad in the first couple games, even though they won. They could afford to, but now, it's tightening up everything. And, well, the free throws got to be better. Jacoby's good at the free throw line. Brandon Carlson, very good at the free throw line. But guys like Mobo and Shed, well, Shed's mostly good at the free throw line. He's got to calm down. Some of the other guys, they got to really pay attention and do better at the free throw line. Kamshay and Mobo specifically. Those two guys have got to have some work at the free throw line. Right there. Yeah. Angry Mexican saying, can you rank these best high flyer wrestlers of all time from best to least? Wow. I love this question. You know what? I'm actually going to give our guy Angry Mexican a dunk for this one. Wow, man. I love this question because it's a wrestling question. We don't get these all the time. Angry Mexican, you're going on the dump list. And I will answer this, very gladly answer this. I'm going to give you a 3-pointer too. So you got the old OG Anunoby 3. All right. I love all these wrestlers. Now, in some ways, you put one of my favorite wrestlers of all time on this list and his tag team partner. So I have to go with these guys. Now, listen, Ray's amazing. Ray is one of the greatest pound per pound wrestlers in the history of wrestling, but he is the smallest wrestler to ever become successful in wrestling also. He is just borderline not in the midget league. And in some ways, some of the stuff that Ray has done in his career is absolutely unbelievable. When he did the giant killer gimmick and he was beating guys like Paul White and Kevin Nash and WCW, it was ridiculous. In some ways, it's fun and everything. And I love that Ray got to the top in WWE and became the champion and did some amazing things there. But the other two guys are my guys. Those are the hardcore guys. The things that Rob Van Dam did in his career, that makes him number 1 on my list. And unfortunately, I will put Sabu above Rey Mysterio also. In some ways, Sabu should be considered a high flyer, but not totally. I mean, yeah, some of the stuff that Sabu does going out of the ring into the crowd is amazing for sure. But I'm an ECW guy. And in some ways, Ray, he's been around for so long in the WWE. In some ways, I don't respect him as much, even though he's had such a long career for Vince. So, yeah, I would put RVD number 1. Oh, yeah, I'm an RVD guy. Oh, yeah, Mr. Monday Night's my guy. And his partner, Sabu, is very much a favorite of mine, too. So I've met RVD in real life. He's an amazing guy, very nice guy. And Sabu, I've seen many times wrestle in real life. I went and saw Sabu wrestle a guy in a high school gym in downtown Toronto in front of 200 people, and he bladed. So I have to respect that kind of stuff. I'm sorry. Ray's great, though, too. I mean, I can't diss him either. It's just that in my personal rankings, that's how I do it right there. Cowboys saying Masai had to do this retooling, and he's doing it before all these other teams in the NBA. Rely on Masai. Him and Bobby are doing a great job. I love our new era Raptors. I'm with you on this. Every team has cycles, and Masai's tried to point this out to fans that franchises are going to go through cycles of winning and losing. It's just how it is. And, we're on our climb back up. And this is the thing. Our franchise has a proven record of getting somewhere. A lot of franchises don't. A lot of franchises are like the Pistons and the Wizards and the Hornets. And I will say that the Raptors have proven that they can pull themselves from being very bad to being a champion already under Masai. So why wouldn't we think it could happen again? Why wouldn't we think they can happen again? That's right. That's right. Blackhawks saying they have full roster spots. Yeah, it's pretty full. In fact, we got to cut somebody. Seymour saying between Robert Pack or Kevin Johnson from the Suns, who is more of a highlight reel. Yeah, I could see the Kevin Johnson comparison. Another small point guard that could absolutely elevate and throw it down. Yeah, Kevin Johnson's a pretty good comparison too. Although I would say this, Kevin Johnson was more of a scorer and like a 20-point kind of 10 assist guy, and on a higher level than Robert Pack and DJ Carton. So it's a player type that's similar. But that's the only reason why I said Pack, is because Pack didn't have a whole lot of years where he was very much a 20-point scorer. He was very often like a 12 or 14 kind of average for his career. So I would say that's why Robert Pack may be more apropos for DJ Carton than Kevin Johnson. Yeah, Cowboys saying, good luck, David. Let's effing go. That's right. We'll have to find out if David Saborin, trivia champion, is bridge champion. That's right. Brian's here. Good to see King from To The Point. What's up, Freak Nation? Dap to Brian checking in for the day. Why not give To The Point a dunk for just showing up? Let's see where King is right now. Where is Brian? Brian Hossein. There he is right there. 9. You got the RJ Barrett 9 dunks now, Brian Hussein. What a great number to have after RJ and Canada won against France yesterday. I love it. Most saying W stream, W vibes. Despite a bad game, keep at it always, Lex. Good times are here. Good times are approaching. Raptor Freak Crew strong forever. Raptors for life. That's right, Monique. And you are a leader in our squad, and you are somebody we look to for guidance on how to stay positive and stay in a good place when things are a little bit like last night against Miami. So I appreciate your leadership, Mo. Cowboy saying, good morning, Brian. Dap from the Cowboy. I believe Abaji will have a dunk of the year. Watch. All right, we'll have to see. All right, Seymour's like, where's the classic card? Yeah, we should do that. Tommy's got the red card. Good day, Raptor Freak family. Yes, good day to you, Emoticon Giants. Tommy Dookie. Cowboys saying, Tommy Dookie in the house. Alley-oop. All right, we can do that. All the unsung heroic work that Tom Duke is doing behind the scenes has to be rewarded from time to time. We'll give him a 3-pointer. 94 dunks for Tom Duke. I love it. Let's see. Salute to Tom Duke. And thumbs up to him. Cowboys saying Razor Ramon was my favorite. He had the best special move. You like the Razor's Edge. Wow. Yeah. You know, Scott Hall is a very impressive career. In some ways, Scott Hall gets maligned because of his drug and alcohol issues. But if you really look at the work that Scott Hall did as a wrestler, he deserves to be in Hall of Fame. He had such a good early career in the AWA and in Florida. And even earlier in WCW, when he was coming up, he was the Diamond Stud. Then he went to WWF and the new generation of Razor Ramon. The whole way he got that character was interesting. And then the NWO and the Switch, the Outsiders in WCW. Yeah, he's had such an amazing career. And one thing people would say about Scott Hall, if you ask them, he was such a good worker. And you can see it how generous he was to people like Chris Jericho, to Sean Waltman, at different times in their careers to help give them a push. So Scott Hall is a Hall of Famer in my book, and I will stand on that hill and argue that until I'm blue in the face. Regardless of his drug and alcohol issues and the fact that he killed a man as a bouncer at a club in Florida in self-defense, don't judge him that way. Let's judge him for his work, his body of work, his longevity, and also his reputation around the world of wrestling. All right, we're doing some wrestling today. There you go. Angry Mexican saying, that's cool. I saw ECW Taz versus Sabu in a Catholic basketball gymnasium. Yeah, that's cool as fuck. I love the hardcore stuff right around the turn of the century in the late 90s, early 2000s. The ECW wrestlers and indie shows, if you could see them, is amazing. People like Too Cold Scorpio, New Jack. Yeah, the Sandman. Oh, yeah. Those are good guys to watch right there. Brian saying, appreciate it, bro. Check out today's episode. That's right. To The Point dropped the new episode today. Y'all give a subscription to 2.0.The Point. A great basketball YouTube channel that Brian hosts. And yeah, he's got a new clip out today. So definitely go and give him a subscription and a like right there. Yeah. Angry Mexican saying, if you replace Duncan with KG, do you think the Spurs would still have had the same level of success? No, I don't think they would. And it's partly because Duncan's such a special mix of a player. He's so unselfish and so like important and integral to winning that his winning percentage is a big reason why the Spurs won so much. So I can say unequivocally no. And Garnett's time on Timberwolves and languishing in his early career is a testament to what I'm talking about. Sure, Duncan was in a better position than Garnett, but they're totally different types of players, and they don't add up to things the same way. Duncan was absolutely one of the greatest players to ever play in the NBA. He's a top 10 of all-time player, and he doesn't get enough cred for that. Kevin Garnett is not even in the top 25, if you ask me. If you ask me, he's not even. Yeah. All right, let's see. Seymour's saying, no, Angry Mexican. He agrees with me. And he's saying, were you watching Owen Hart's tragic accident live? No, I wasn't. I don't pay for pay-per-views. It's ridiculous. But I was listening to the Law, live audio wrestling that night, that live when they announced that it happened. And that's how I heard about it. And that was very sad and tragic. Yeah. Blackhawk saying, hey, yo, say hello to the bad guy. Toothpick flick. Yeah. Hey, yo. How many of y'all came here to see WCW? And how many of you came to see the bad guys? Yes, Scott Hall. Scott, I appreciate it more and more. Paul B saying, Lex, have you heard of the punk group Bad Nerves? Check out the track, The Kids Will Never Have Their Say. The entire album is great energy. Okay, Paul B's coming in with the music tangent now. I am getting close to my 2-hour limit. I have not heard of them. I will see if I can, but I'm super busy. And in some ways, I'm ignoring music in my life right now. I probably shouldn't, but I will get back to it at some point. Cowboy's saying, you know it, Blackhawk, alley-oop. All right, you want me to give alley-oop to Neil? I'll do that real quick. We're going to do the classic card. Hang with me, guys. We're going to still do the classic card and finish up all the normal stuff that we do. I was going to give David a chance to get in here. You got the Chuck Hayes 44, Neil. You got that Chuck Hayes 44. There you go. And Cool Cat's here. Good morning, Rapid Free Crew. Just woke up. Oh, you're going to catch the very tail end of the stream real quick. All right, let me make sure I didn't miss anything here. First of all, we got my stars of the game for last night: Jamison Battle, Jacoby Walter, and DJ Carton. Really, really poor loss. Thank God they didn't break the record for worst loss. And there's Leo Routen's words of wisdom: the only thing you'll lose by being real is something that's fake. Oh, so stay real in your life, so you don't have to worry about losing stuff. Because in some ways, the stuff that you lose, it's fine because you really didn't need it. Happy birthday to Will Solomon, former Raptor. Will Solomon's birthday today. I believe he's turning 46, something like that, 46. And yeah, always check out the Raptor Freak community tab because we've got cool stuff from 5 years ago when we won the championship getting posted in there all the time. All right, let me do the classic card real quick. And let's see. Yeah, let's see. That was all for you, CC. All right. I think I pulled this one, and I don't want it right now. Okay, we'll do this one. All right, guys. You know the rules of the classic card. The first person to write the full name in, don't half-ass me, write the full name, will get the points. And I'll figure out how hard it is to give you the points. Now, this one may be a little easy, but maybe not. The card's in a weird position. So let's see. I'll bring it up closer over time, but I don't want to show it to you too close right now. Let's see if you guys get an initial guess from a distance. First of all, can anyone tell what team that is? First of all, that may be the first thing to figure out. Oh, wow. Seymour knew it from the number and the team. That is exactly right. That is Gilbert Arenas. It's a Gilbert Arenas card. Wizards, stats and bio. What does it say right there? 2004, 2005 hard court. I don't know. These are weird cards. Some of them. Upper deck card. I don't know. What's it say? After spending his first 2 seasons with Golden State, Arenas traveled across the country to play for Washington. Despite the radical change in scenery, the guard's game continued to develop and flourish for the Wizards. He paced the squad in minutes per game, points per game, assists per game, and steals per game, while totaling double-digit points in 46 of the 55 contests. All right, yeah. No, it is Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas, yeah. Yeah, Wizards. All right, so I'm going to say this isn't that hard. I'm going to give you a 50-point total for this one since David's not here. 50 points for Gilbert Arenas to Seymour Pape. Seymour Pape gets it today. Good job. Yeah. You were on slow mode. Well, yeah, unfortunately, if you comment, you have a minute till you can comment, and that in some ways you got to time it for the classic cards. So if you are already have shot your shot, well, you got to wait. It's unfortunate. Yeah. Let's see. Paul's saying, and guns per locker room. Yeah, that's a good joke. Paul B, you want to dunk? You get one. Yeah, he led the team in guns in the locker room also. Yeah, Paul, don't fret me with a good time on that one. All right, you got the Emmanuel Quickly 5. Paul B, that's awesome. Yeah. Loser Agent Zero. Yeah, Agent Zero. That's right. Yeah, this guy. He kind of looks like Batoon from the side, a little bit. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me today. That is the end of the Raptor Freak reaction stream to the games yesterday. 2 different outcomes. Team Canada looking fantastic against France in a friendly in Orleans, France. Very, very good stuff, Dylan Brooks, on the way you wrapped up Victor Wembanyama. And Rudy Gobert, you're so goofy, bro. You are so goofy. So goofy. And meanwhile, the Raptors did lose their Summer League game against the Miami Heat last night. Kelly Ware having a huge game. And, well, Jacoby Walter showing some stuff late in the game. So I was happy to see that. All right, y'all, tomorrow I'll be on later than 9:30. 12 o'clock start to the stream for watch along with Puerto Rico versus Canada, the last friendly before the Olympics start next week. And there will also be a Raptors game tomorrow night at 7 against the San Antonio Spurs, the last game of the Summer League. So I'll have a preview prepared for you for that game. And also we'll do the live play-by-play during the Puerto Rico game. So if you want to hear me do live commentary during the game, you get another chance tomorrow at noon. I'll be starting then the stream. That's right. Yeah. All right, let's see. Angry Mexican saying, if you had to receive one finisher, the wrestling questions are kind of actually fun. Rikishi Stinkface, Yokozuna Bonsai Drop, or the Mandible Claw by Mankind. Man, none of these are that appealing. I think you've asked me this question in the past. I vaguely remember this. All right, listen, the stink face, from what I've heard, is Rikishi really makes it nice for the person who gets the stink face. It's not like he's taking a big shit and not wiping his ass and going out there. Apparently, he makes his butt smell good. And that's why some of the women that take the stink face from Rikishi are like, oh, it's not that bad. So in some ways, that move is the least, but it's also the one that's most humiliating in some ways. So that's the part of it. It's like in some ways, the Rikishi stink face is probably the easiest one to take, but it's not looking like it's the easiest one to take. Now, the bonsai drop is always dangerous. Yokozuna did a good job. Rodney did a really good job of trying to protect his opponents by not fully caving their chest in. But it's scary as fuck. It's the thing is, when he's coming off that top rope like that, or from the middle rope, actually, he didn't even come off the top rope. He came off the middle rope, and you have a 400-pound man coming down on your chest. It's scary because you're totally trusting him to catch his weight and not fully land on you and absolutely squash you. So that's a very scary move. Now, I'm not going to say Rodney was dangerous and hurt people all the time, but he did hurt some sternums. And if he got you a little bit, it was similar to Andre. Andre the Giant was the same way. He'd try and sit on people. Well, if he didn't like that person, he'd full on sit on them. But yeah, Yokozuna's move looked really scary. And if you're daring and you're not afraid to have a 400-pound man land on you in a fake way, yeah, that's not a bad move to take, but you're very much trusting him. Now, the last one's gross. It's absolutely gross. And it's really because Mick Foley's using a dirty-ass sock and putting it down your mouth. He's got the mandible claw on Mr. Sacco, and he's got the disgusting sock he's had down in his tights during the whole match. And Mick, knowing Mick, he's not a sanitary person like Rikishi is. As far as like, I'm going to put baby powder and make my ass smell nice before I stick it in your face. So that sock probably was nasty as fuck. And the other thing is the mandible claw can hurt. It is actually a legitimate move that can be done to people to actually immobilize them. If you grab somebody by their bottom jaw and you wrench into it and really like pull on it, you can immobilize someone very effectively in real life. Let's just put it that way. Now, Mick's not really doing it full, but that stank-ass sock that's been down in his crotch during the match, that ain't no fun to take. So I'm going to say the Rikishi stink face. And I will tell you that's exactly why. All of that right there. So that's a full elaborate answer for your question. You want wrestling questions answered, Rapid Freak will answer it in depth right there. Cowboy saying later, Lex from Rapid Freaks. Dap, dap, dap. Y'all don't forget, ta-da. If you need help, call Cowboy, 647-833-6844. I should have memorized that number by now. Yeah, Mo's saying happy birthday to Dwight Powell. Happy birthday to Team Canada's Dwight Powell. I love it. Thanks, Mo. I don't have all the Team Canada birthdays, so thanks for filling that in. Blackhawk saying France had to protect Wemby. Well, Dylan did a really good job on him. And I'm sure a lot of NBA players and coaches saw that. Yeah, Cowboys saying Spurs are going down. An angry Mexican likes my answer. Awesome. Well, as one wrestling fan to another, I recognize you. There you go, my guy. And even though we're in different fan nations, I appreciate the ability to interact with Sixers Nation, Knicks Nation, Hornets Nation, Bucks Nation, whatever nation wants to come in here and talk to Raptors Nation. You're welcome. And always, as long as we keep it civil and you're not shots fired on us, I won't go shots fired on y'all. So, yeah, Angry Mexican, you have a great Saturday. Get outside and touch grass, like Scotty Barnes would say. Raptorize your day like Nab Bhatia. Have a great day, y'all, and I'll see y'all tomorrow at noon. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share if you feel like it. This channel is fun. Let's go!